those are not images I want you to put in my head, Colin. Thank you very much.
I know, mate. I'm sitting in there contemplating the error of my ways.
You guys are very lucky that you don't get to access the conversations we have before we go live, because sometimes it's just raw. It's just
you can't unburn that image now, though, can you?
Oh no, and we'll just leave it at that. Oh, dear. Oh, Christ. Right, I've been. My brain is now just broken because Colin suggested things and I said things.
Yeah, you've been festered, mate. I did the same to Dave, if it's any consolation, before we went live, and I etched images on his retinas.
He basically backed me into a corner and I said, I'd rather see X, Y, and Z, and then I was like, oh, did I just say that? Oh, no.
You did. All I'll say to that is, yeah, Fong. Mm.
Tassels. Anyway, hello everyone. Hello, welcome to a slightly traumatised Warhammer Sunday. Yes, it's that time of the week when me and Festa sit down and we crack on and do some painty, and we're cracking on with our Leman Russes again, which we'll talk about in a second. But before we go on, hello everyone, welcome to Sunday. Quick shout outs to all the people that make this stuff possible. First and foremost, my sponsors, emodels.co.uk, your one-stop shop for all your model making needs. Link in the description below the video.
Don't forget, make something awesome.
Go make something awesome. Yeah. I don't know what that was. I've got no idea. Link in the description below. Go and check them out. They sponsor my channel. They keep this channel alive. So a big thank you to them. And of course, my patrons and channel members who also support me and keep the channel alive. You can become a patron if you want to help out. You can go to patreon.com/modelmakingguru. The address is on screen somewhere. Or you can press the join button underneath any of my videos to become a channel member. Either way, you get loads of good stuff. You get access to exclusive content and also access to the live 24/7 Zoom hangout that's only available for patrons and channel members. And of Colin's channel.
Absolutely.
Well. And I'll let Colin do a bit of pimpage in a second and you get the same benefits. Hello, Colin.
Hello, geese. How you diddling, mate?
I'm all right, mate. How are you?
I'm fine and dandy, mate. Fine and dandy, mate.
Excellent. As you can tell, with me as always is my fine co-host Colin Festa from Festa 67's workshop. Pimp mode on, Festa.
Absolutely. If you would like to help support me channel, you can click the join button and become a member.
Under his videos, not my videos.
Yeah, under my videos. That'll give you access to the Zoom 24/7 off-air hangout. And also you could consider becoming a Patreon by heading over to patreon.com/Festa67's workshop, and it'll all help keep the channel coming and content on the bench for you lot to sit and watch.
Lovely.
Ka-ching.
Now, you have the stream open, don't you, normally playing in the background?
Oh, yeah, I've got it on the other screen, mate.
Right, I've put my Streamlabs into performance mode, so I won't know if it falls over, so do let me know.
Oh, yeah, no worries, geez, yeah.
Yeah, but yes, welcome everyone. Welcome. If you remember, we are working on our Leman Russes.
Yes.
And it is an Educating Festa special, basically. I'm painting my Leman Russ, and I'm showing Festa how I do it so that he can learn how I do it, so he can take those techniques and add it to his big stash of techniques that he's already got, so he can learn more ways to do things. Not because I think I'm good, but because he wants to know as many ways to paint things, and it's easier for me to show him rather than him just watching a video that I've made, because I can talk to him with my face mouth, so...
Exactly that, mate. Unlike me, you're not typing in the chat to have a conversation, are you, mate?
Oh, you type it in chat?
No, I'm not. I'm being good, look. Hey?
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, typing "I'm not in chat" counts as typing in chat.
Oh, no, I said, unlike me, you're not going to be typing in the chat, because, I wouldn't do such a thing, would I?
No, you wouldn't do such a thing at all. No.
Yeah.
But yes, so we're going to be showing, I'm going to be showing you how I do things. Again, not because I think I'm right or I think I'm great, just because it's another thing, it's another technique that you can learn, isn't it? That's basically, you can explain
Absolutely.
it better.
I want to learn as many techniques that I can ruin, as that I can utilise as possible.
Adapt.
Adapt, improvise, adapt and overcome. Yeah, it's just more ammunition and string to my bow, so yeah. And not only that, I'm forever saying to him, how did you do that? And it's probably getting on his moves, if I'm honest. No. So now we'll be, you know how to do that, because I showed you the instructions and all of that.
I never get tired of explaining things.
Unless
it's Mama Fox how to use the TV remote, in which case I really get tired of explaining.
Or don't go for a 3-hour kit, Mum. Okay.
Yeah, goes for a 3-hour kit.
So, yeah. we'll be doing the same Leman Russes, and we're going to have stacks of fun doing it, we mate.
Today will be mostly a dry brushing issue again, I think. Lots of dry brushing today ahead.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we did a bit of scave and bite dinge last week and a bit of known oil.
Blight dinge.
And we're now going round with a bit of Mechanicus standard grey to lighten things back down a bit. So, yeah.
I always feel compelled to say Mechanicus standard grey.
You want to do it in the voice of Grayson out of Chumley Walner, don't you?
Oh, that's Mechanicus standard grey, old friend. You apply go to Mechanicus standard grey, bish bosh, there you go. Ha ha.
There you go. That was rather well done, mate.
Yeah, see, Johnny Foreigner would use like scave and blight dinge, but we use Mechanicus standard grey because we're British.
Yeah.
I'll stop now. Have a quick look and see who's in chat. We have Festa 67's workshop was the first in chat hours ago. Muse is in, says, hey, Colin Foxy, and lots of hugs to... No, so you get all the hugs from Muse and I don't get any.
Yeah, but Muse is special, see. I'm special. I get the hugs because, unlike you, I give the hugs back, that means a lot.
On my chat, I've got a little heart. I said, hi, Muse.
Yeah, but that was you just going, oh, what's the least amount of effort? Oh, one of them will do.
I don't know, is a heart better than a hug? I don't know.
I don't know. Multiple hugs always goes down well because it means you've put more than one key press into it, mate.
Alternatively, she could just be saying it to get you into the corner so that if you forget, she can tell you off. It could be a test.
There could be an ulterior motive,
yeah,
yes.
It could be a test. But big hugs to you, Muse, anyway. Lynn Dipples popped in and said, hi, everyone in chat and Colin Foxy. I'm off to do laundry at a friend's house since I don't have a washing machine yet. Bye. I hope I win, but...
Oh, bless her, yes.
Yeah, she might get a chance to come back in. Jeff is in, Candygram for Mongo.
Yeah.
Hang on,
don't forget, folks, it is draw week, isn't it? It is the draw week this week for the Leman Russ giveaway, mate. You haven't mentioned that.
I'm going to do it in a minute. I'm trying to think of Carl Sagan quotes.
Candygram's in, yeah.
The brain does much more than just recollect. It improvises, it synthesises, it generates abstractions like the concept of the number one. There you go.
There you go, that's an impressive.
I was having to remember it while I was doing it, so I kind of wasn't as good.
Yeah.
So Candygram is in. Eon's car is in, slides on over. Hello all, says Eon's car.
Hello, mate.
Shellard is in, he says, hello, are we unsupervised and can we muck about? I'm sure you will.
Yeah, of course you can, mate. Chinese burns at the back of the classroom.
Yeah, a biro with all the things taken out and it's just firing little bits of paper through it.
Yeah, pea shooters at the ready.
Yeah, Panzer Cat is in. It says Fox hugs and Festa hugs, and Muse hugs and Lee hugs and Candy hugs and Eons and Mark S hugs. Shellard says elastic bands and bits of paper twang. Has he got his twanger out? I think he's got his twanger out.
Yeah, like a Jasper, mate.
He's got his twanger out, Jeffrey.
Oh, bloody old bungle.
Oh, who's pinging rubbers around? Panzer, you have to realise that rubbers in England it means something completely different.
Yeah, you don't want to be pinging them about, mate.
Not in a classroom. Especially if you're the teacher. Marcus Brune is in. Afternoon, Fox and Colin. Hey to all in chat.
Hello, Marcus.
Big hugs to you. Looks up from trying to saw a table in half with the ruler. Ain't me, says Eon's car.
Yeah.
People at Shellard says the paper aeroplane went quite far. Panzer says the only thing you're innocent of, Shellard, is starting the Reichstag fire. Too soon? No, maybe.
No, it's good enough.
Right, who else have we got? We have Stefan Last is in. Welcome, Stefan. Welcome to you. Some very strange noises coming from outside. Jeff Light is in. Hi, Panzer and Marcus. Welcome, Jeff.
Hello, Jeff.
Welcome. Oops, it's stuck in the ceiling tiles. I hope teacher doesn't notice, says Shellard, but I didn't look what he was throwing, so... probably his pen.
We used to pull the drawer out on the teacher's desk a bit, but we would have white tacked a stink bomb at the back of it. And of course, the teacher would come in, see their drawers open, and just immediately slam it shut. And then you'd sit there watching them as the stink starts enveloping them. It's like...
we never did that.
Yeah.
We never did that. I missed out on something here. My grammar school education was not obviously as 1950s as your grammar school education.
Oh, mate, it was a proper riot. It really was. Like,
why don't you think yours involved like teachers with gowns and mortarboards and like proper Nigel Molesworth?
You're not far from it.
Yeah, I missed out on the classic.
It was proper gowns and canes hanging up by the blackboard. You boy!
Proper Mr. Chips style.
Yeah, you get a good whacking. It's like,
Damn,
yeah.
we got the modern, as in 1980s grammar school experience.
Yeah, no, it was,
McLeish is in. Welcome, McLeish.
You was sent there to reform, don't forget. You had to be, it was really strict discipline, because,
Jacaro Jim is in. Welcome, Jacaro. Actually, asked a question straight off. He says, would dark silver be a good edge highlight for iron hands? Iron hand steel is quite a bright silver. So you really want something, for an edge highlight, you want a brighter colour. So maybe, I would say normally Stormhouse Silver is a good edge highlight, but Iron Hand Silver is quite similar to that. But yeah, Stormhouse Silver might be a good bet for that. Because Iron Hand Steel, I think it's called, is quite a bright silver colour. So yeah, dark silver, you want to make sure your highlights are brighter than your base colour. Of course, if you want to, you could go over your Iron Hand Steel with a Null Oil or Agrax Surshade wash to darken it. And then,
just to knock it down a bit.
Yeah, and then bring it back with an edge highlight or dry brush of your brighter silver. Who else we got in? The Raging Modeler says Auxum.
See what he did there.
McLean says Goot Afterpop Princess McPonytail Festa 67's Workshop Big Lad.
Hello, mate. How you diddling?
McLeish says dark silver with a light point highlight of bright silver, Jacaro. Yes. Frankie Goes Tobbywood is in. He says, hi, boys and girls. I'm here, but I don't know for how long for some reason. If I disappear, no worries. No worries,
No
Frankie.
worries, mate. Not a problem, buddy.
As long as you can tell us what today's mystery Euro meat is, we're more than happy. Yeah. I love that. Whenever Frankie says what he's had for lunch, none of us actually know what the hell he's just said.
But when you look at the food he makes, it's proper Gordon Ramsay stuff, isn't it?
But he's like, today I had X, Y, and Z, and we're like, we don't know what any of those things are. None of those words mean anything.
Yeah, us Brits sit there and go, we had spam.
Yeah, today we had Schnickelgruben. I don't know what that is, but it sounds great.
Yeah.
Muse says lol. I don't know why. Andy McLeish says Skavenblight Dinge, a.k.a. Scott's Funeral Dirge. Ooh, there's a good name. I must rename that. Raging Modeler says, I just want you to read out my crap joke from the comments last week. Well, if you win, you will. Absolutely. Yeah. Phil East is in. Evening all. Hope everybody is well. Welcome, Phil. Welcome.
Hello, Phil. Hope you're doing all right.
Yes. Now, like Festa said, it's a giveaway week last week, so today we're pulling the winner. Would you like to explain?
Yeah, you got the chance. Being that last week was the 200th show of Warhammer Sunday.
Yes.
You've got the chance to win yourself a Leman Russ, folks. So if you want to bung a comment in underneath the arches. So it's because I said underneath. So underneath the video from last week. Yep. You've got to be in it to win it. So leave a humorous, family-friendly comment, and we'll read them out. And the winner will be put through a random commenty pickery type thing, and you get a chance to win Leman Russ.
Yeah. It's going to be the Leman Russ Punisher. No, the Leman Russ Demolisher, which is this kit, because you can build the Punisher or the Demolisher from this specific kit.
Absolutely.
The comment was supposed to be or involve the word bottoms in some way, but it doesn't matter now. It's just put any comment you want. If you've not already put a comment on there, why are you turning down free stuff? We'll do the draw towards the end of the show, so you've got a good couple of hours to get your comment on last week's show. Show number 200, you can't miss it. Yeah, you got to be in it to win it, folks. And like I say, it's free. The lovely Sarah Jane is in. She says, hi, Colin. And the other one, she says, good girl. Yeah, she says, Fox stops reading the chat when I get here. That's 2 weeks running now he's done that. Well, you know what I'd say? I'd say Sarah Jane always gets here late and turns up after I finish reading the chat. Yeah, Marcy says, nothing I say is family friendly, laugh out loud. Yeah. If you're not here when I call the register, then... You know what I mean? That's why I have the post-it note. I've got my little teacher's pen that looks like a fountain pen, but it's not, and it's got the little red X. Oh, we used to have great fun with them walking up to someone you didn't like and go with your fountain pen, giving them a big ink splat. It's like, gets in. Here's the thing from my primary school. I don't know if you had the same, right? I was only like, 6 or 7 years old. But, you know, like when you see something and you think, I want that. Yeah. For some reason, when I was a kid, all the teachers in my primary school had these very specific biro pens, and they were kind of like quill shape. They were like that kind of shape. Yeah. But they were blue and grey. It's like blue bottom and grey top, and they were like
Yeah.
I'd never seen them since, and I always wanted one because we had just had normal biro pens and stuff. It's like rubbish, but
Yeah, they had proper tapery characteristic pens, didn't they?
yeah, they were still probably cheap Bics, but I was like, well, for some reason, I just had this overwhelming desire to have one of those pens. Never got one.
Yeah,
just biro, ballpoint pens.
Well, they was just phasing out inkwells in the desks when I went to school.
Yeah, I'm just seeing you basically in St Custard's now with Nigel Molesworth and all the other ones as any female.
Oh, it was
type.
proper Dennis the Menace with the teacher in the gown jobby, because we was pulled out of mainstream school because we couldn't behave ourselves. See, we was the naughty lads, so we got sent to the reform school, basically where all the naughty boys went, and it was proper. You know, gowns and canings and all of that. It was basically organised child battering is the best way of describing it.
If I can find any of my old Molesworth books, I'll have to send them to you because they are just classic.
And it was, you know, I was proper, you know, shirt tail hanging out, one sock up, one sock down, you know, with a couple of conkers hanging out my back pocket, you know. But
don't forget your catapult.
Yeah, you know, and it was you, boy, you know. And anything you weren't supposed to do, they would give you a list of things you couldn't do, so we'd go out and do them all. Because
exactly. The kind of school where you go and smoke around the back of the of the bike sheds, but all the teachers around the back there as well.
Why was you late for class? Because I hadn't finished me fag, mate. You know, or cigarette, should I say, just in case for our American friends.
Yes. Well, then again, grammar school, and then,
yeah.
Anyway, right. So, yes, shall we crack on?
Yeah, no worries, mate.
Yes. Oh, well, actually, before we do, how have you been? How's your week been? What have you been up to?
Been fine and dandy, mate. I did a bit on the E-Models Wednesday on the what's it called? The the brewery truck for E-Models. So I did a bit of that. Obviously, Friday we did a bit on the Stomper. I've done absolutely nothing on the Leman Russ because, you know, I'm not going to work on it off air. So, yeah, that's about it, really. I did a voiceover on the latest episode of the Big Rossi bike. So I've only got the last episode of voiceover on that, and that's that series done.
Jolly good.
And then this week I want to finish off the photo etch and prime him on Wendy Hickson's bike so I can get that. It's going well, isn't it? Get that video released on the channel.
Cool. Spider pigs for everybody.
Spider pigs for everyone there, mate.
Ooh.
Oh, no.
I didn't even plan that one.
Yeah, what else have I got lined up? I will be starting to film the Warlek in October.
Oh, can't wait for that.
Yeah, so I don't know which way to go. I don't know whether to film that or film the Insane Blade. I'm not sure yet. So a fair old bit planned.
I think, in all honesty, both need filming, dude.
Yeah, they do, don't
You've got a good few years worth of filming there.
Oh, mate, the swear box is going to be, in it.
Frankie says, you can see what I've had today. Pictures in the Boom Hut and Festa's group. Schupfnudeln, some kind of German gnocchis, sauerkraut and bacon. Oh, I love sauerkraut.
See, why do I think that's beef pot noodle?
Yeah, Schupfnudeln. Nudeln is, I guess, noodle. Schupf, I don't know. I know what gnocchi are because they're like little Italian things. Sauerkraut, I love sauerkraut. And of course, I know what bacon is. Schupfnudeln, my brain translated that as super noodle, says Annie McLeish. George is in, George Gabriel. Hello, George.
Hello, George. How you doing, buddy?
Hello, buddy. Big, massive hugs. Across the Atlantic hugs. Not seen you for a while. Hope you're doing all right.
Yeah.
Keep in touch, buddy. So,
always nice to see George.
It is lovely to see George. Good to see you. Hope you stick around, mate.
Yeah.
Now, have you finished yet?
Have I finished?
Yes. Right, so what we've done so far in the last episode, we, like Colin said, we painted it in Skaven Black Dinge, got it based in Skaven Black Dinge. And then we gave it a goodly couple of coats of Nuln Oil, and it came out looking like it's made of coal.
Yeah.
We both got a bit nervous because I'm like, I don't remember it being this dark normally. So I did some tests because I wasn't sure. I know which colour we were going to do next, but I wasn't sure if it was going to be right because this seems to have come out darker than my previous builds. So I did some tests, and I shall zoom in a little bit, and I shall show the people what they need to see.
Go full screen, mate.
If I can find the zoomage.
Yeah, I'll pop your full screen. Oh, you are full screen.
Yeah. So I did some tests.
You're good.
I tried with, thank you very much. I tried with Skaven Blight Dinge again, because we did it. Sometimes what you'll do is you'll do a base colour and then you'll do a shade to darken, and then you'll either.
Yeah, you're not on shot, mate.
I know. I'm going to zoom in a minute. I mean, you know what I mean. You'll do like a base colour, then a wash, and then you bring the base colour back in, whichever method you choose, to kind of bring the highlight back, but keep the dark areas. So I tried some Skaven Blight Dinge, and it. Can't really see anything there. Didn't really bring the highlight back. So then I tried some. What was the other one? Something. I forgot now.
Storm something fur, wasn't
Storm
it?
Vermin Fur. That's the one. So I tried Storm Vermin Fur there, and I think here, and it looked all right, but it wasn't quite what I was looking for. So then I tried Mechanicus Standard Grey, which is the colour that I normally use. That is exactly what we're looking for. This is the effect we want, to go from this kind of dark, generic dark grey to that, because we're basically doing post shading. We want to bring the shade back around the edges, and in the recesses we'll have the centres a bit brighter. So
exactly. So the Nuln Oil and Skaven Blight Dinge has actually had that effect, hasn't it? Because once the Mechanicus Grey is on, we'll get that nice porthole effect around the edges, won't we? So
because I mean, you see there, it goes from that dark colour in the corner and basically fades out. That's because we're doing gentle dry brushing, just to bring back the centre of panels. Now, it's not necessarily realistic because you're going to be working on the centre of panels, and it's a bit cartoony. But the overall look will be kind of dirty, grimy, and three-dimensional. And when you do all the weathering as well, it will kind of balance it out. It's just a very good way of if you haven't got an airbrush and you can't do pre-shading around all the edges. It's kind of the only way you can really get that kind of effect. You could technically try and dry brush all the dark areas, but you're going to make such a mess that it's easy to do it in reverse. So that's what we're going to go for. So I'm going to zoom back out again and stop going full screen. Do you want me to be full screen while I show you what I'm doing, or do you want to?
Mate, it's your stream. You do it however you choose to, dear.
I'm thinking so you can see what I'm doing, but.
Yeah, no worries. Go for it, mate.
Let me go then. Right, so.
Because you're not only teaching me, you are teaching the audience as well, mate. So paint along with Foxx, folks.
Right, so I'll do it on the bottom here. I like doing it on the bottom. We're doing that again, it's easier to see when I do it on the bottom. But what we're going to do is basically go over the whole tank. Yes. My little tank. And bring that highlight back. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our Mechanicus Standard Grey, give it a good shake, right in the microphone.
Beat the devil out of it.
I deliberately did that in the microphone because it's gross. And then, dead simple, it's dry brushing time. So
you're a bad man, you are.
I'm a very bad man. So, dry brushing time. I'm going to be, for this particular kind of technique, I absolutely adore using the medium base brushes from Games Workshop, because they look like this when you get them. I've got a couple of new ones this week. They look like that when you get them, and they're great for base paint because you can paint a big area quite nicely because they're nice and flat, and they're good for getting some good coverage. But they last about 5 minutes before they go like that, and they look like that after about 5 minutes. So they actually make brilliant small dry brushes, because they're really soft. The bristles are really, really soft, and they're perfect for gentle, careful dry brushing, which is what we're going to do. So, you know how to do dry brushing. We're going to get a tiny bit of paint on the brush. Not much, don't need a lot. We're going to be refilling that a lot. We're going to get this off. We're going to put my lenses on so I can see. I'll get it down here. Now, this is the trick. Ow, jab the brush in my nose, why don't you? This is the trick now. Patience and slowness and delicateness. What we basically want to do, I'll do it on this door because you can probably see it better. What you want to do is get most of the paint off, and then very gently, tiny circles. I'm almost not touching the model at all with the brush. I'm not putting any pressure on. And what I'm doing is I'm doing little circles and trying to stay away from the edges a bit, but I'm not worried too much if I catch the edges. Because the reason for doing little circles is if you move it around, all the little circles go over each other and just blend into each other. If you just did flicky back and forth, you just get caught on the edges and it will just all look like straight lines. So it's a bit like sanding. You want everything to meld together. Now when I've done that a little bit, what I'll do is I'll put the brush in the middle and I'll just put a little bit more pressure on and do a circle there, just so that brings the highlight right back to the middle. And that, you can take it as far as you want, but that is all we're doing. That is our effect.
Brilliant, isn't it?
And it looks a bit darker on camera than it is in real life. You can do it as much or as little as you want. I could put some more in there, but we're going to do another dry brush after this for the highlights.
Yeah.
You can do it as much or as little as you want. I do find it useful to sort of go over the edges, like the edges there, because you will catch the edge of that little door, for example.
Yeah.
And then you've done a little highlight edge then, but only a little one.
Yeah.
I've stayed away from those hooks, so they'll get painted anyway. But I've kept it away from around those handles, around the edges, and you just get that little fade then between the edge and the centre. But the trick is, like I say, is the little circles. I'm literally not touching almost the model. If you find, I know you've got your shakes and stuff, so if you find it easy to like, anchor your hand like that with the little finger.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing on the track, yeah.
But I mean, to be honest, yes, a place to practice. But to be honest, your shakes might be handy in this because you don't want to be like...
Oh, yeah, I've just got my finger hooked on the track because I've done 3 of the bottom panels just to play with them.
So,
yeah.
But that's all we're going for. And this is basically... Theoretically, you could paint the whole tank like that and you could leave it as weathered if that's as much as you wanted to do, because the darker Skaven Blight dinge with the null null on top looks like grime and grease are all gathered around the edge.
Yeah.
But obviously later on we're going to do streaking and we'll do other things, we'll do chipping and stuff as well, but this is just a good way to get this idea. So that's it, basically.
Happy days,
so,
folks.
do you want me to do another one, or are you happy to just dive in?
You'll carry on, mate. I've been painting whilst you've been showing, mate.
Yeah, okay, well, I'll put myself off full screen. So that's basically what we're doing. This is half of my... it's not necessarily the right technique, but it's my technique for doing non-airbrush post-shading.
There you go.
Let's have a look. I'll put you full screen. Hang on. That middle one, yeah?
Yeah.
Spot on. Those two, that's spot on, mate. That is absolutely spot on.
There you go.
Hi, George. I think she's got it. But it really is. It's a slow process. It's a slow, delicate, and careful process. Yeah. Sometimes, for example, you might have, like, on the tracks down here, you might have these little raised bits. So I'll just do a little bit in the middle of the raised bit there. And just leave it as that. Sometimes you can go for a bit more pressure to get, like, a brighter area. It can be quick. It can be slow.
It's very therapeutic, isn't it?
Yeah, because normally when you're doing it by yourself, all you can hear is of the brush on the model, and it's like you don't have me waffling on.
Yeah, and it's like having Dave in.
Hey, what, me waffling on? Oh,
his bit of with his bit of sanding. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Now for things like where you've got a little recess like there in the tracks, just do the same again. I do little oval shapes like that.
Yeah, yeah.
It's about you get quite quick with it, and you get. Once you get used to it, you can whiz around quite quickly and do it. I've left that hair on there, look. Oh, dear Lord. I better...
What do you like?
I might make that into a... arse. I don't know. I forgot to...
You're going to make it into an arse?
No, I don't know what to do with that hair. I should leave it as a bit of my DNA so it keeps the value.
Yeah.
I don't think I could get it off now with tweezers.
Keeps its authenticity, mate.
Yeah. I'll take it off.
when you put it up for sale, it comes with its own unique bit of foxiness.
Comes with me attached. I think it might be just too far wedged in now. Might make it worse if I try and get it off. Yeah, I'll leave it on. But that's it.
Yeah.
So if anybody out there has not got an airbrush, maybe can't afford an airbrush, or has tried airbrushing and doesn't like it, or just finds airbrushing far too scary to think about and doesn't want to try it, then try this instead. It's a lot longer process, but you do have a lot more control with this than you do with an airbrush. That's the thing to remember. Because with an airbrush, what you do is you paint the base coat like Skaven Blight dinge, then you go in with a dark colour like, say, rubber black from Tamiya or something, and you paint around all the edges, all the recesses, and then you go in with your base coat, but you'd airbrush it over. But this way, you can really control the highlight. You're having more control over the highlight than if you're doing the highlight with an airbrush, because you can be put all your pre-shading lines on and get your airbrush and try and stick in the middle of a panel, but just move it a bit and go like that, and you've got highlight on a recess. So it does give you a bit more control. It takes a lot longer, but I love it.
Yeah, but you don't mind that, do you? Because it's giving you the desired effect that you want.
Yeah. And if you want to remember this process, there is a video on my how-to playlist called "How to Do Pre-Shading, Post-Shading Without an Airbrush." It's exactly this process, basically. So, if you need to refer to it, one other handy tip as well: when you've got the paint off the paintbrush on the tissue, you'll sometimes see me do that. It's just to make sure there's no paint left, but also it kind of softens the paint on the bristle. It gets off any little flecks of paint that might be stuck in there. It's a good way just to test, because you'll see me. I'll always do a little light bit first, just to see if there's too much paint on the brush, and if there is, I can quickly get it off. I've not done a big splob on it, but it's actually quite a quick process. You can see I can use quite big. It's the same process you use when you're cleaning your brush in the brush cleaning stuff.
Yeah, in the old what's his face? Yeah,
Lemon Happiness.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you can,
Master's brush cleaner. You cannot beat that smell.
I had to clean some brushes before we went live.
Coming along.
Let's have a look. Hang on, let me zoom in. Let me full screen. Lovely. Spot on. And that's the beauty of it. You can do it as clean or as dirty as you want. You can make the highlight. You can have it nice and bright, or you can keep it nice and fake. You know, the more you do on a panel in the middle, the brighter the middle bits get. So it's entirely up to you how bright you want that highlight. And we will do a dawnstone highlight in a bit as well, just to add a little bit more. But you can have complete control over how bright it gets. Some bits you might want to keep darker because maybe you want them to be oily. Yeah. You know, some bits you might want brighter. Some bits you don't bother with because you know you're going to cover them over with other things. So you've got. I find this a lot more controllable than using an airbrush.
Oh bloody hell! Yeah, definitely.
But it's a lot slower.
Yeah. And dare I say it, my trembles and that can be utilised pretty well with this.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking that because it demands a kind of randomness.
Yeah.
Like, I'm actually going quite light with my highlight. I'm not doing a really bright highlight because I'm not putting a lot of paint into the centre of the panels.
No.
And it's really just about leaving that... You have to imagine that the base colour in the wash is grime. And you're just cleaning the grime away with your dry brush.
We're almost doing a gunk wash, but in reverse.
Yeah. You're doing basically... what happened? You know, like when you put your hand... When you open the back door of a transit van and it's got a load of road grime on it. And you open the door, when you close the door, you've got a load of clean fingerprints. Yeah. Where the road grime's been rubbed away. That's what we're doing, basically, with this dry brush. And it's quite relaxing.
One, it's very therapeutic and relaxing, and two, with minimal effort, you're actually getting a really nice effect. Yeah. Now, the one thing I would say is it is quite colour dependent, with Citadel paints at least. Oh, for this bit here where I've got you've got that little ridge around the tracks, I do tend just to do a flicky bond on that because you can't really get the brush in there to. So I just do an edge flick on that just to make that edge pop out. Yeah, just to give it a bit of a yeah. You can't really do too much in there. Yeah, with some colours it is dependent on the colours you choose. Yeah. Like as you saw at the start, when I tried doing this with Skaven Blight Dinge or Storm Vermin Fur, it gave a different effect. It didn't quite come out the same. Yeah. So if ever you're planning on doing this on a model, just do a couple of test bits first to see if the colours you're planning on using actually work. Yeah. Because a highlight colour can either work really, really well or it can just not pop at all. Yeah. That's very Paul Lewis is in saying hello. Hello, Paul. How you doing, mate? Hello, buddy. Philly says it's a real nice technique to do. I tried it on a big squig skin and really enjoyed it. Now, see, this is where learning this technique for me is going to come in handy because I have various builds in a state of semi-finished jobs, should we say, and this technique is going to allow me just to achieve that result on the squig that I've been after, that different blendings and all of that. Because that's the thing. I mean, that's what I've been waiting for. Yeah, I'm doing some edge highlighting, by the way, just to get edges and stuff. But
Like I say, it's
a minute. The person who hates edge highlighting is doing edge highlighting.
Well, only just to make the edge pop here. It's not like an edge highlight like on everything. It's just...
oh, right, yeah.
It's like
a Games Workshop edge highlight.
No, it's like a wear and tear, because you're doing less...
Yeah.
Yeah, so... But... Yeah, like I said, it's ideal if you don't want to airbrush, if you don't have an airbrush, but it's so applicable to so many things. And when people think of dry brushing, they just think you just go with the brush like that and you're just hitting the edges, and that's true. But most people never think you can use dry brushing for lots of other techniques. Dry brushing is kind of a bit stigmatized in the mini painting world.
Why?
Because there's a load of hoity-toity professional types that say, oh, we don't dry brush, we use glazes and things like that, so we're much more skilled and professional. It's like, yeah, you know what? That's fine. I use dry brushing because it's fun and it's easy and it's
my thing is you work what works for you.
Yeah, and I don't see there's anything wrong with dry brushing. I don't see there's anything better about glazing or better about dry brushing. The way I view it is it's a different technique to get a different end result. You've got to be considerate of the paint though, because often when people dry brush, they do a flicky dry brush.
Yeah,
and that can lead to a very rough paint texture. So, and that can depend on not just how they're doing it, but also the paint as well. And you've got to be wary of that. This Mechanica standard grade, for some reason, is really nice at doing a nice smooth paint layer when you do it like this. But that's because you're applying it very, very lightly. And you're using a small brush, so it's not really... It's emptying of paint quickly. It's not having a chance to build up little bits of particles of dry paint, but that's what I think anyway.
It works.
But you can get some really nice effects. If you wanted to paint something that wasn't supposed to be looking gunky and grimy, of course, then this would be a bit of a limited technique, because this is really suited for something that's not going to look factory fresh. It helps give that. See, I've got too much paint on there, so I can get a bit off and just get back.
No, I'm really liking that.
And if you want to do the handprint effect, I'll just demonstrate. If you want to do the, like you get all the little clean bits on the edge of a boot lid, you can just have more paint on than normal, and just I haven't got enough there. Put a bit more paint on than normal, so it's like a wet brush rather than a dry brush, and just catch the edge like that. So you can do a heavy dry brush if you want to. But yeah, it's a completely flexible system. I love doing it this way. It's to the point where I'd rather sit and do this for 3 hours than actually spend half an hour setting up my airbrush sometimes.
Yeah, it makes logical sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, I just find it more accurate. If I'm just doing, say, if I'm just got a Bane blade and I want to get the light patches and the dark patch, I'll probably just airbrush it. A, because it's massive, and B, because it's a big model. But something like this, it's easy to miss with the airbrush and just put a highlight in the wrong place and it looks weird. So there you go. So we'll just crack on and do this for the first bit. How's it going?
Happy days.
How are you getting on?
All right, mate.
Cool. I wouldn't worry too much about that bit of the front, because we're going to do that as a stripe anyway. So that panel there.
Yeah, no, I've done a bit of me underneath so far, and I'm just working my way around. So
good place to practice. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at what you do.
There you go.
Liking it. Awesome. That's really cool.
Just getting there.
Yeah. It always looks weird on things like that where it's like a nice straight area, but don't worry about that. When you get to the actual body of the tank and it's little square panels and things, it looks a lot less weird. When you're doing like big flat straight panels, it always looks kind of like cartoony, but that's not a problem. See, I'm not actually going to bother doing anything underneath too much because you're not going to see it. But
yeah, exactly.
I'll do that bit, but I'm not going to do under there. Although I will do the side of the track units. But they're going to get covered in dirt anyway. You see my paint pot? It's got hair, look. It's got an antenna. I shall have a look at chat in a moment.
Yeah, Philly says, Cole, did you ever check out MS Paints on his channel? He made a dry brush palette to help him with dry brushing, and it's a big help. Oh, good shout.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah.
This technique can be tricky when you've got a big flat area like that, because it's easy to think, oh, I've just made this big circle in the middle and you don't know how much pressure to put on.
Yeah.
But on smaller areas, you can kind of go around quite quickly and get it done. But it does require some experimentation with the colours, because the colours can make or break it. Like that Skaven Blight Dinge was just too similar to the colour that's already on there. And the Storm Vermin Fur, you want a bit of contrast. You don't want too much contrast. We want a bit of contrast. But this is coming out like a nice German grey now, even though the Storm Vermin Fur is nothing like German grey. And when you put the Nuln Oil on it, it's even less... excuse me. Excuse me. Even less like German grey. But now we start to bring back the Mechanicus, which is like a bluey grey. Yeah. It starts to look like it. So I'm just using the brush down here, but I'm holding the end of the brush miles away, and I'm just wiggling it between the axles. Yeah. You can be quite slapdash with it down here in places like that, because you're doing some edge catching, but you're also just getting the paint in there and just wiggling it around.
Getting it in there.
Yeah. It just looks less like a flat grey colour, basically.
Oh, Muse says, Amazon truck, is it for her or is it for him? I mean, in the dog. Oh.
What? Hey?
Marcy.
Amazon truck.
Amazon truck.
Truck? Dog? What? I'm confused.
That's in your chat.
Oh, I see what Amazon... Oh, she means there's an Amazon truck. All right. For some reason I'm thinking Amazon truck. Is that a model kit? I don't... What? I've got you. I understand now.
Yeah.
Ooh, Amazon truck.
Is it for Marcy, or is it stuff for her, or is it stuff for model making Pooch?
We recently had our porch door and front door redone.
Oh right, yeah.
It was
all sorted now, is it?
Yeah, it was an old wooden door, and it had like wooden porch doors, and the wood was rotting away. So we need to get a proper wooden door now. So we got the standard UPVC big plastic porch doors and stuff. We've kind of discovered a couple of downsides. One is the porch doors are not as wide.
Oh right, so are you bashing into them a lot?
I'm like, oh, my shoulders, because the other ones the frames weren't as thick because they were just wooden frames, so the porch doors were a little wider. The other one is that we've got this glass in the front door now that's all like got like patterns in it and like chamfered, and it's got like beveled edges and stuff, beveled edges. Yeah. So when you look in the porch, it's like a kaleidoscope. Oh, right, yeah. In the old days, you'd look through the front door window and see a parcel in the porch. Now you look in the front door window and you see like a million front door handles.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
yeah.
It takes forever. It takes forever to see. Like, you'll see me and Mama Fox like moving our heads around, like trying to look at the little tiny snippets of porch to see is that a parcel. And then when somebody does deliver, the doorbell was on the outside, but it's like a little battery operated thing. It's not wired in. Yeah. It was on the outside, but they had to remove that to remove the frame. So now it's on the inside, stuck on with some license plate tape. Because I'm not going to drill holes in a wall. So now it's on the inside. Nobody knows it's there, and they knock on the outside, but because it's all triple glazed, of course, we never hear them now.
Oh no, shit.
And the old porch, I used to be able to hear the old porch opening, and I'd be like, "There's a parcel." So before they've even put it in the porch, I'd be downstairs. But now it's like I don't even hear the porch opening. It's so quiet.
Oh dear.
Yes. Of course, now being triple glazed, it means in the winter the hallway might be a bit warmer. But of course, it means in the rest of the year we'll just sweat even more.
Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it?
Yeah. Now, see, what I'm going to try and do here on this little angle bit is I'm going to start with flicky. Yeah. But I'm doing it from the centre of the panel. Because I want to get like vertical stripes almost a little bit.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Because you want to suggest like grass and branches and stuff. So I'm going to do the circly bit as well, but I want to start with some scratchy lines if I can. Probably all disappear when I do the circly bit, but...
Yeah, but you know what you want to do.
Yeah. And in some places you can... If it's an area of high traffic, like you say on a turret lid or something, you can think, well, where were people going to be putting their hands? And I'll put the highlight on that bit and leave the rest of it gunky and stuff like you can. Yeah. It's a lot more accurate and precise than airbrushing, basically. It just takes longer.
Yeah, but like you said, you're more in control of it as well.
So basically, just dilute to taste. How are you doing, buddy?
All right, mate. Yeah, loving it. Loving it.
Loving it. It's a quiet and noble pursuit.
It's a very therapeutic thing, isn't it? You know, it's like, yeah.
Yeah. Now, someone around here was incredulously left by themselves yesterday with a house full of white goods they're not allowed to touch.
Yeah.
How did it go?
It went remarkably well, mate. As you said, my fear button is a lot bigger than my balls, because I to say that I was sat on my hands at one point isn't an understatement, because, yeah.
Now, the other question, of course, because we talked about this on Friday, you hadn't heard from H at that point because she hadn't gone, but were you left with pre-prepared, bang it in the microwave, follow the post-it notes instructions foods?
Yeah, I was, mate.
What did you have? What did you have?
I had some Rustler's ping burgers, mate.
Ping burgers?
Yeah, microwave burgers.
Oh, I love the sound of that. That's on the level
ping
of
burgers.
That's on the level of Popty Ping, that is.
Yeah, ping burgers, mate.
Ping burgers, I like that.
Yeah.
Restless ping burgers. They are the best.
Absolutely, it was. But even they had even though on the instructions it tells you what to do, she had still wrote it in big letters on post-it notes, just in case I didn't note small print. Yeah.
Just in case you'd never had a Rustler's Filth Burger before.
Yeah, just in case I couldn't remember that I had done these last time that she went out.
The funny thing is, right, the fact that she's gone out for the day and she left you with some Rustler's Filth Burgers, right?
Yeah.
It's either a sign of spousal abuse, I'm going to leave you on your own with just the worst food ever made by humans, or she really loves you because she's left you with the best filth ever made by humans.
Yeah, it's the least problematic for her to recover. Yeah. That's what it is. But even then, I still got a message saying, could you confirm that my kitchen is still intact?
Did you want pictures and everything?
Yeah, there may have been photographic evidence that was sent.
Oh, you know all about photographic evidence, don't you?
Yeah, and then it was the usual, good boy, trained you well.
Good boy.
Yeah.
There you go.
And the police says, did you behave, good Lord? Yeah. I may, at risk of incriminating myself, I may have gone out and pressed a couple of the buttons on the machines just because I could, but I'd already made sure that I had taken photographs on the phone beforehand so I could return them to their original position.
That's the important bit. I can imagine you'll go, I've turned all the buttons. Oh shit, I forgot to take a picture. Oh.
Yeah, because part of me thought H would have took pictures on her phone and would be walking around the kitchen just to compare. Yeah. And I thought, see, I've been clever now.
It's like
the first thing she said is, you've been touching buttons, haven't you? And I'm like, no.
Yeah. It's us trying to figure out how it's us trying to figure out how they know, because she always knows.
Yeah. Apparently the delay in me answering was enough to prove my own guilt.
Oh, you mean so she didn't know, but she was like trapping you into... Yes, I get that.
Yeah. Yeah, she kind of lulled me into a false sense of security.
It's not really hard though, is it, with you?
Yeah, exactly. She's like, you've been pressing my buttons, and I was like, she went, you took too long there, she says, to process your answer. Therefore, what have you been pressing? Nothing, dear. Don't fib. Don't lie to me, she says. Nothing. I said, trust me. There you go, she said. You've just hung yourself.
Yeah, don't say trust me.
Yeah, I was like... Oh. So then I proceeded to walk around the kitchen, grassing myself up for anything and everything that I tampered with.
Yep. What, intentionally or by denying things?
Yeah. So, yeah, it was voluntarily I went out and,
Yeah, I took that and turned that. It's like
she does laugh. She's like, you really are bad. People are going to think, she said, that I'm some kind of wicked ogre. I said, they might think that. What you been telling them, she says.
You did it to yourself again, didn't you? They might think that.
Yeah.
Why? Took too long to find.
Yeah.
It's like me when my nephews were younger and they used to come round. I'd used to do the old classic little bit of masking tape on the bedroom door.
Yeah.
They'd go into all the rooms and they'd sort of digging around.
Of course they do, yeah.
And the door where, don't want them like messing around on the workbench and stuff. So on the on the room door, I put a little bit of tape that they couldn't quite see. Just
yeah.
She's probably got them kind of traps everywhere. She's probably got cameras.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't put that past her. She's not a wicked ogre. She really isn't. But I really am terrible to be left alone because I get bored very easy, and then I start looking for mischief. See,
Colin gets bored very easy, and then the titles for my streams actually finish, and we start the stream.
And it's like, what can I get up to? And it's like,
what chaos can I cause?
But I have lists of you're not to even attempt to do anything that involves ladders, steps, anything like that.
Well, that's more of a not wanting you to brain yourself.
Yeah, and I get that, and I'm not that daft. But when it's basic stuff, and it's like, she really does think I'm 5, but then I kind of am because I do stupid things, don't I?
Well, you must think I'm 5 or something. Absolutely. Oh. Okay.
Yeah, as old as that is normally her answer. Yeah. It's like, okay. Right, she means well.
Yeah, only because she cares.
Exactly, mate.
Exactly. How you getting on with your tankage?
All right, mate. Do you like my brush?
Yeah. Oh, hang on. Let me see. How the hell have you done that?
Dry brushing.
I'm supposed to be in little tiny circles.
Yeah, I am.
Blimey, you know you're supposed to be going gently, don't you?
Yeah, but you do realise they don't call me Edward Spannerhands for nothing, do they? I could probably rub right away through this bit of plastic.
Yeah, try not to.
It's not too bad.
I've done one side so far on the front bit there, the glasses plate.
Yeah.
Clean this
I think I'll put a bit of water on the brush and see if I can restore it a little bit.
Yeah, make sure you hairdryer it though before you.
Yeah.
Dry brush again. It is worth. I'm going to do mine in a minute, but it is worth when you're doing this kind of dry brushing. If you've only got 1 or 2 brushes, just after 5 or 10 minutes, just rinse your brush out, and then hairdryer it dry again. Just because you will get paint building up in the bristles, and they'll get a bit stiff and hard, and then you won't get such a smooth blend then. So I'm going to do mine now as well, actually. Just give it a quick rinse, just to get any paint and stuff out.
Crud.
Then but you do have to hairdryer it, or if you've got more than one brush, just switch to another brush. I've got a load of brushes here, so because you must make sure your brush is dry when you dry brush. That's kind of the point.
Yeah, it's kind of the point of dry brush, includes in the name, mate.
Yeah. Answers in the questions. Well, I'll switch to a different brush. I do find that some brushes work really well though, and some don't work at all. So I may swap back to that one and hairdryer it if I need to.
Yeah, I will endeavour to get some more brushes.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to need them.
I mean, the good thing with those base brushes is just by the nature of the fact they just explode after about 3 uses, is that you very quickly build up a supply of them anyway. So.
Yeah, they're not very formidable, are they?
No, they're great. They are great for the base painting that they're designed for, but they just don't last very long. They can give you a really nice, smooth base coat when you're doing your base painting. Probably why they work so well for dry brushing, give you a smooth dry brush coat. But like I say, it's just a case of go around slowly, be as gentle as you can, given limitations.
Yeah.
And just try and get them subtle blends. But it's so nice. You can leave more dark shadowing, you can leave less dark shadow, you can control exactly how much shadow is around the edge of your panels. You can go less or more. You've got absolute control. That's why I like this so much. It's kind of hard to go wrong, as long as you're gentle and you use the circle motions.
Yeah, gentle, he says. Try not to grind the end of your brush off, though, he says.
Don't grind your brush to 90 degrees. Because I'm only really touching it with the very tip of the bristles, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, this is making sure I can feel how much pressure I'm putting on stuff is my problem, because, as I think I've said this to you before, I'm all or nothing with my hands, and that's what I've got to learn with this technique, and I shall be doing numerous spoons.
Spoons!
Purely because I need to figure out how I can sense the pressure. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, for you, it might be more of a case of literally watching the way because if you look at me when I do mine, it's literally just doing that.
Yeah.
It's just, like when you clean your brush, it's just the tip of the brush swizzling round like that. So I know by looking at it, if I couldn't feel it, maybe it's a case you'll have to just visually look at what the brush is doing, or you might find or the sound it makes, or. But that's the thing. It's the first time you've done it, so it's not a problem. It's the first time you're doing it. You'll have to learn. Oh
bloody hell, yeah!
How it
feels.
This
is why I have such a expansive collection of spoons, because.
Well, it's just like driving a car. In one way, think of it this way: when you first drive your car doing your driving lessons, you don't know when to change gear. You've got no idea. No. You're like, and you've got. But the thing is, about a week later, you know just by the sound of the engine and the feel of the pedal under your foot, you know exactly when to change gear. It's that kind of instinctive thing. Your
pedal responses are totally different,
yeah. So it's just learning. When I say feel, I don't literally mean the feel, but it just generally, what you can feel, what you can hear, what you can see. It's learning those little signs.
Learning the clutch bite.
Yeah, basically, and that's all this is about. You'll find your little things that tell you exactly when, or you might even just figure it out by how much what it looks like when you're dry brushing. You'll say, right, I know that's what I want now. You'll find it.
Yeah.
All about
I shall sit there with me tray and a few spoons of a night, and then I can see what the brush is doing, but gauge it in my own hand, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, if you can find something that's got little squares like this, it's because then you can control the size and everything. You can get practice of that. But it's quite enjoyable once you get the hang of it.
Oh, it's very subtle.
And it really is a lot less hassle than airbrushing. But like Sarah Reynolds said the other week when we were talking about my Horus Heresy stuff, yes, it's going to take me like 5 times as long. But I know exactly where I'm putting the paint.
The bobbin says dry brushing is very much like making love to a beautiful woman.
Swiss Tony. Dry brushing with Swiss Tony.
Yeah.
Swiss
Tony reference has got to be worth 100 XP, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I watched Thor: Love and Thunder last night.
Any good?
It's all right. Lots of Taika Waititi in it, which is good.
Oh, nice.
It's all right. Oops. I do like Korg. Korg's a great little character.
I think I've only watched one Thor movie, so I need to add them to my list, don't I, then?
You need to watch the entire MCU, basically, is what you need to watch.
Yeah, I'm
all the Marvel
terrible
movies,
when
all of them. You can... The thing is, it's not like you can say you can forget this one, because the thing is, if you don't watch one of them, you miss some story points. It's like, that's the only problem with them all being connected. Because I was going to say, you can miss the latest Doctor Strange one, because it's not very good, but you kind of need to know the things that happen in the story for future films. It's a bit fiddly.
I think the only ones I've seen complete were the Iron Man ones.
Aye. The Avengers are good. Black Panther's great.
Yeah, not seen any of them. You're ashamed of me, aren't you? Because I've got Disney Plus, and on there is a big Marvel button, isn't there?
Mm-hmm. I'm ashamed of you because H was telling you off the other day for shouting at the telly because there's nothing to watch, and yet you've got all this stuff that I'm nagging you to watch.
Yeah. Yeah, she did proper tell me off as well.
Yeah.
You're getting yourself all flustered. Switch the news channel off. I said, but I've only just switched it on. Yeah, she said, you're stood there minus a slipper and the cushion's missing off the armchair.
Although it's a case of switch the news off. Well, I can't, because go to something else. Everything else is the news.
Yeah, pretty much. No matter what channel. Check your chat there, mate.
Ooh, $5 from Candy Grandfather from Jeff says, spoons!
There you go.
The Earth is the shore of the cosmic ocean. If you wish... No, that's not right. The Earth is the shore of the cosmic ocean. Recently, we've waded a little way out, and the water seems inviting.
There you go.
And for that $5, you get a bonus. Our little Flatlander square is terribly confused.
bless him.
Going about his flat business.
Yeah, so we've got a bit of that on there. We've got a bit of that on there. We've got a bit on there. Let's come back at that one.
Consider again that dot. On it, everyone you've ever known, everyone you've ever loved, every human being who ever lived, every saint and every sinner. I can't remember. That's a very long speech to remember all of that.
Died so young, didn't he? Bless him.
Yeah.
Yeah, such a shame.
Mm-hmm. Beep, 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 beep. When you get to things like hinges and hooks and stuff, you can just flicky dry brush them because
Flicky, yeah.
yeah, because they're just 99% edge anyway. So I do love doing this. It's so much fun. It's so much goodness for. Yeah, you're not going to look like some hardcore professional painter, but the beauty of it is if you get it smooth enough, then no one will actually know you've dry brushed. It doesn't look like you've dry. It looks like you've painted something Mechanica Standard Grey and then spent hours doing lots of streaking grime.
Yeah.
When you haven't. Or that you've airbrushed it really expertly when you haven't, because you're not even using airbrush.
What was it you were saying? A lot of paint work for little effort, or minimal effort.
Minimum effort, maximum results. You don't need to bother with the exhaust, by the way. Don't bother with them.
No, I've not done them.
Yeah. But like I'm flicky over that vent at the back and over here. Don't worry about the crisscrossy bits. So you can pick out the edges as well. But, you know. Excuse me.
I haven't done me tracks yet.
No, not touching tracks yet. We don't need to do those because we're going to paint them.
Don't need to do them, no?
No. They're going to have their own.
Happy days.
Yeah.
Ah, that's right. Then I won't waste me time on them.
They've got their own special process for them. A special process for special people.
I see what you did there.
Do you see what I did there? And it's the same kind of technique you can do if you want to do, let's say you've got some kind of piston.
Yeah.
Piston piece, and you've got the shiny silver bit and then the housing that the piston goes in. Is that called the ram or something? You know, the bit the piston.
Yeah.
You can on the shiny piston bit, if you want it to look shiny because it's the bit that's up and down and it's never going to be like battered, you can still go ahead and paint it a silver colour and then put a wash over it like a Grex Earthshade or Null or whatever you want to do. But then you can go back with this technique with a metallic paint. And you can dry brush and just stay away from the bits where the piston goes into and out of the housing. And you just have this shiny metal, but right at the end you've got this little sort of faded in grime effect where it's oil and stuff would go. And this technique, for metallics, you can use this technique, but you have to do it in a slightly different way, and I'll tell you that in a second. Basically, it's exactly the same, but you need even less paint, and you need a brush like... you really do it with a brush like that. A small, pointy brush.
Yeah.
For metallics. Because it's just... and you need to make sure you use a really fine paint, like the True Metals or whatever they are from...
Oh, right, yeah.
Because they're really smooth. They won't be grainy at all. I'm on the other side now doing the track unit.
You're good.
I do like the track units because there's such like big raised edges around the panels that you can just go in and go blah, 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 and you've got the nice grimy looking stuff. Are we having fun yet? Thank you very much for that, Jeff, by the way.
We are, mate. It's very relaxing, to be honest with you.
Yes. Don't forget, folks, bench and belly. What's on your bench? What are you playing with? What are you making?
What's on the bench? What's in the belly? What is your beverage of preference?
Yeah, that's a little flair you've added there, isn't it? Like that.
Yeah.
Bench for me is this, and of course my Age of Sigmar, Horus Heresy stuff.
Yeah. Are they coming along, mate? You happy?
I haven't been able to do anything on them at all this week.
Yeah.
Just real life. Last couple of weeks, is real life.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, you try looking after an 83-year-old and see how much free time you get.
Yeah.
A cantankerous, grumpy 83-year-old. She's not that bad. Belly, I don't know yet. Beverage of choice is water at the moment, with maybe 1 or 2 cups of coffee a day.
Yeah, as long as it's not brush water.
I've done that before.
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
Many years ago, when I was playing Persona 4, I had my merchandise store, so I made a couple of cups that have the June S logo on them, the June S Superstore logo on them.
Yeah.
Because you can't actually buy them in real life. So I was like, oh, I'll make a couple of them, I'll do that. I won't sell them because I can't sell them because it's copyright, so I'll just make a couple. So I had these 2 cups with this logo on, which is brilliant. But one of them, the handle broke off. Well, the handle started to crack, so I thought, well, I can't really use that anymore, so I'll just use it as a paint wash cup instead. It's over there at the side, actually. But the problem was, of course, I still use the other one for drinking coffee.
Yeah.
So one day I had my Juness coffee mug with paint water in it, and like a dingus, without thinking, next to it I put my Juness coffee cup with coffee in it.
Oh, no.
And as you know, no matter what colour you're painting, your paint water will always end up looking like coffee. I don't know why it is, but no matter what colour you paint, your paint water will come out looking like coffee. And I just grabbed the cup without. I was painting something and grabbed the cup. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, you ran to it once, didn't you?
Oh yeah, it's not as bad as Agrax Earthshade. Trust me, the taste. Nothing comes close to Agrax Earthshade, but
yeah,
that's definitely something. You only lick that brush once when you're doing shades. You know, Lamia Medium might smell like applesauce, doesn't taste like applesauce.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. It's like, yeah.
La la la. I find a slightly dampened brush helps a lot with dry brushing for smooth blending and avoiding any chalky results, if that helps anybody. You can do wet brushing, which is either you have a little bit more paint on the brush or you do have the brush ever so slightly damp. I've never been able to master that process.
No.
To get to end up just not having paint smeared everywhere. So it's worth trying out if you can get it to work. But you can do a heavy dry brush, which is where you just have more paint on the brush. It's sometimes called a wet brush. I've never tried it with an actual wet brush though. Could be worth trying out at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's like a lot of people look down on dry brushing. They see it as an amateur way of doing things. It's like there is no amateur and professional. It's just it's a way to paint. It's a technique.
At the end of the day, if it gets results, surely that's what matters.
Yeah, it's a technique that has an end result that gives a different result to other things. There's nothing wrong.
Yeah. It's just because it doesn't agree with the purist's way, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, those kind of people I can't no time with anyway. So, you have to do it this way, otherwise it's not a proper paint job. No. This is my fun hobby. I'm doing it for fun. La la la. I think it's kind of seen. I think some people see it as a beginner technique. For example, you might paint a space marine, you know, your McCrag blue or whatever.
Yeah.
Forgive me for saying that. And then do a wash over it, and then just dry brush over it with something. Flicky, flicky, flicky. And it's like, yeah, okay, that's not going to give you the best results. It won't look really super cool. That'll look like you've dry brushed it.
Yeah.
Whereas somebody a bit more hardcore might do lots of glazes or layering or anything else like that, blending and layering, wet blending. And it's like, okay, yeah, that's going to look better. But at the end of the day, that's just one way of dry brushing.
Yeah.
So there's different ways you can get different effects. And it might be the effect they want. Like I'm dry brushing my Horus Heresy dudes. Taking me a lot longer, but it's given me a lot more control than the airbrush, which I tried and failed miserably at because the airbrush was too big.
Yeah.
But it also gives a slightly, it's not giving me a textured look, but it's giving me a slightly rougher paint job look, which works because it's supposed to be old armour. Old, desperately in need of repair armour, so it works for me.
That's the thing, as long as it works, mate.
I mean, if you just did a base coat and a wash and then dry brush and that's it, then okay, yeah, that can look a bit simple. And it's great for beginners and people that just want to paint an army quickly, but they might have a point there. But the thing is, if you can then take it further and do all the other stuff on top anyway that you would normally do, like weathering, and then it's just as valid as an airbrush. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise.
At the end of the day, you do what works for you.
At the end of the day, you do what you enjoy because this is a fun hobby.
Yeah.
We're middle-aged blokes painting toy soldiers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's that 3-letter word, fun.
Yep. Anybody?
That's all I'm interested in.
I have no time for the I think you'll find brigade.
Oh, yeah. I couldn't help but notice, yeah.
Yeah.
And I felt I had to say. Why did you feel you have to say?
Yeah.
What is it that makes you so special?
I mean, there are ways to say, you know, oh, it looks quite good. Did you dry brush that? Have you thought of doing it with airbrush? And I'd be like, yeah, I thought about it, but I'll get more control this way. All right, cool. So that's not a criticism. That's just saying, oh, did you not want to airbrush it?
Yeah, it's the full. Yeah,
it's the people that go, oh, you dry brushed it. Oh dear. Oh no.
Yeah. I think you might find.
Oh.
Oh, it's the voice. It's the voice.
I'm not being well.
I saw what you did there, you rotter.
Yeah. Moving on.
That's cruel.
Talk about inside baseball. That's how far inside baseball is in the changing room.
Yeah.
No explanation will be given for that. Moving on.
Moving on. Yeah.
Moving on.
He's here all week. He's here all week.
Right, that's that side done. I've got to say, it's quite a subtle highlight. It's not a particularly bright highlight on this tank, but we're going to go with some Dawnstone in a bit. So
it does highlight it well, though.
Yeah. I mean, if you wanted to, you could have gone in with even more non-oil to make the shade, the recess shade, even darker.
Yeah.
For an even more contrast. It does vary. And I could sit there and go over the middle of all the panels with this same paint and just build up that highlight even more.
Yeah.
Which you can do. But we're going to do it with a different colour, so. There's a...
No, I think it's subtle.
I'm sorry, did you just say something subtle? I don't understand.
Yeah, that does it. It's a nice... Makes it subtle.
Yeah. The problem I have, though, is that I'll do things like this, and I'll go for subtlety. I'll go for this kind of finish, and then I'll trap myself because I think, oh, that was really nice and subtle, but then I realise it's almost impossible to see it. It's too subtle, and now I've got highlights that aren't highlighty enough. I do that so often because it's subtle, but sometimes you just don't have enough contrast.
No, I find it's actually works. I don't know how it's coming out on camera, but certainly on the bench, it's yeah.
Well, I shall have a look in a moment. I'll finish mine. Then I'll go full screen and see how you're getting on with yours. I might do... I'm not going to do the underneath just to save time, because there's no point, really. It's going to get covered in. I'll do the underneath.
I only did mine just to practice before I went on the main body.
Well, if I don't do it, I'll just regret it. So.
If you don't do it, it's going to bother you each time you turn it upside down to do something.
Yeah, and I might go for a slightly bigger brush as well.
Because I know what you're thinking. You'll be going, yeah, I wish I'd done that now.
Well, I might do it a bit more subtler. So you see on this bit, I'm using like bigger swirls just to...
Yeah.
This is where I could see myself squishing out the brush like you did.
Yeah, I think that's probably why my brush went a bit AWOL, because I used it to do the underneath and all.
Yeah, you could use a slightly bigger brush, but...
Yeah, now he tells me.
Well, I mean, you could do, but I still think these little brushes are just the best for this technique. I don't know why.
Yeah, but I shall get a collection of them, because now that I'm doing this technique, I am going to be using this brush as my... Yeah, that's my scuzz brush, because...
Scuzz brush! It must just be the hairs on the brush, because I've got other dry brushes this size, like the Army Painter ones, and they just don't... I don't know, they don't seem to give me the same softness.
Same effect.
Yeah, sometimes they give me a more bitty effect. Sometimes they don't seem to work as well. I don't know what it is. It's just these little brushes for some reason.
Then they're cheap enough.
Now, the one word of caution you have to exercise with this method is you have to keep in mind how many different coats you're going to do, because I'll tell you now, this first coat we're doing is nice and smooth.
Yeah.
The second coat we do will be alright, it'll be still smooth, but it'll be okay. If we then did a third highlight, like 3 different colours,
Yeah.
If we started doing a third highlight colour, you're going to start seeing a texture to the paint.
Yeah.
And I noticed that when I did my little Borderlands style car, whatever it was, I forgot what it was now, the Ridge Racer, Ridge Runner. I did Avalanche Sunset with a dry brush and then a load of Agrax shade on it. Then I went back and did this with Avalanche Sunset to bring back, not bring back a highlight, but bring back the same colour. And then I went over with another lighter yellow to bring back more of a highlight. And then at the end, I did a third highlight coat of an even lighter yellow, like Dawn Yellow. And by that point, I was getting a bit of a texture. You could see this like orange peely texture.
Oh, right, yeah.
Because I'd just done too much. So really, with this technique, you're really looking at one, at the most, maybe two different coats.
2 layers, because otherwise you're going to start losing
smoothness. Yeah. So, like, you do have a choice. It's a tricky one because on that one, I wanted the Avalanche Sunset to be the base colour, so I did a dry brush of the Avalanche on top of the Avalanche with the wash. With this one, though, we've gone for one colour, then a wash, and then a second colour, so we don't have to do a third coat now. But with that one, because I wanted it to go from like brown to Avalanche Sunset to the next yellow, and then up to Dawn Yellow, which was the highlight.
Yeah.
I think it was Avalanche Sunset, Agrax Shade, Avalanche Sunset, Uriel Yellow, and then Dawn Yellow.
Yeah.
And it was adding the Dawn Yellow that took it a bit too far. You've got this little... the thing is, once you've put them weathering on top, it goes away a bit, but you do get this slight texture. I'll see if I can...
Yeah.
I did it on this guy as well. On this little chap here. This was all dry brushing. And that was the same. It was Avalanche Sunset, Agrax Shade, Avalanche Sunset dry brush, Uriel Yellow dry brush, and then Dawn Yellow, and you can see in the paint. I don't know if I'll zoom in, let me see it.
Yeah.
Because I did a bit too much dry brushing. You can maybe see a slight texture in there.
Oh, yeah, I can see it.
Just in the highlight.
Yeah.
But that's because I did do a lot of dry brushing coats. It wasn't just 3 colours, it was like 5 or 6 different coats, so you can just see a little bit of a texture in there. So you've got to kind of keep in the back of your mind how much.
Yeah, you've got to know when to say that's it. Then.
Yeah. I mean, on that it looks fine because it just looks like gnarly old armour, but you want to try and plan it for at the most 2 coats, maybe 3 at the very worst.
Yeah.
So for this one, when we finish this layer, we'll go and do some Dawnstone as a very subtle highlight, but then we'll leave it at that then.
Subtle, us too.
Yeah. Right, I think I'm just about done. Oh, I've not done my turret yet. Dick, what am I doing? Got a whole goddamn turret there. I forgot about that.
Look at you with your turretness.
Did you remember you've got a turret to do as well?
Yeah, I've got it done there.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm right behind. I'm stuck behind.
Yeah, but I've just spotted that I hadn't done my rear wheels where the tracks are. So.
See. Okay, well, if when you're done, I'll just tell you what the next step is. I'm doing my last step. I suppose I've been waffling more, haven't I? Not working.
No, not at all, mate. Not at all. I've been thoroughly losing myself with it.
I like doing things like in the middle of this panel here. It just looks really nice when you get the light bit and then all the dark shadows around the rivets.
Yeah.
This is also a great technique if you're doing something that's kind of rusty. Like, for example, if you were, I don't know, let's say for no specific reason at all, doing, say, for example, a Russian T-72 tank that was completely rusted out with no turret for some reason. You could do this technique by doing all your dark rust tones, putting some washes on, and then doing the lighter rust tones by using this technique. You can get all variation that way. It's a great little technique. It's keeping the shadow around the rivets. So let me know Let me know when you've done, and I'll do the next step.
That's all right, mate. I'm just doing my wheels that I'd forgot underneath there. Ooh, there was something I'd forget.
We'll have a proper look at yours as well when we've.
No, you don't want to do that.
Yeah, we do. Full screen for the girls. What, ladies? Gonna go full screen for you? Yeah.
What you do is you look at mine, and that's how not to do it.
Don't be daft. I look at yours and I think it's the first time you've ever done this. So, I don't judge.
I do.
What's that noise? Is that your neighbour banging something? Or is it
No, that's me tapping my paintbrush against the side of the tank as I'm doing me. Yeah.
Oh, yesterday morning. We finished the Friday frolic and I got to bed about 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
And about 10 o'clock in the morning, my next door neighbour's lad, little lad that's got autism, he's autistic. He seems to he discovered the joy of hitting one thing with another thing and making a loud noise.
Oh, bless him.
So it was like he'd obviously got a stick and a bucket or something. It was like, it was like, I wasn't angry. I was like, well, I'm awake now, but
yeah.
I looked out the window and he's there, just like having a whale of a time hitting this bucket with a stick. And I'm like, you know what? It's kind of nice.
Yeah.
I don't mind. It's fine.
Bless him.
Like singing away to himself and hitting this thing with a stick, with his ear defenders on. Bless him. He's a good kid.
Shame, innit?
Yeah. Apparently, he's really, really. His dad was saying. My neighbour was saying he's really, when he's at school, he says he's really awesome at like maths and writing and English and science and all these lessons. He says he's really intelligent and he's getting really good grades. It's his social skills and his behaviour. He said, but you know, brains wise, he's exceptionally smart apparently. Like,
you normally find that, don't you? It's like classic Rain Man syndrome almost, isn't it? Where, like you say, things like that they're really good at, and yet social interaction, loud noise, anything like that, it sends them off, doesn't it?
Well, I saw his dad was telling me he got him some ear defenders and he was running around the garden yesterday with his ear defenders on, because he's saying, you know, he has them because if everything gets a bit too loud and noisy he can get really upset, so he just puts them on. Happy as Larry. There you go. And I didn't really get that until I saw an article on the BBC News about they've added a new character, Thomas the Tank Engine. He's a brake car called whatever it's called, but he's got autism. So that this brake car is basically a train car. He's one of Thomas's new friends. He's got a light on the front of the train. He's like a caboose type thing. He's got a light on the front, which symbolises what mood he's in. So it's like green for he's happy and red for he's angry, or whatever. And he's also got ear defenders. I'm like, oh right, so it's kind of a widespread. It's a common thing. I didn't realise it was a. Because I was like, wow, ear defenders. What's that all about? And I didn't realise. So it's quite common. Common sort of relief for them to have things like that. Bless him. He's a good kid.
It almost takes them to that controlled audio, isn't it? Almost, you know. Well, it's the real world can sometimes get very loud and intimidating, can't it? So.
Well, he said it was quite challenging in a lot of ways when they went to visit family in India. Aside from the fact they left a week before Chocolate Velociraptor kicked in, they were stuck there for like most of a year. Literally the week after they'd gone away. Right, the country's on lockdown. Oh God.
She had a baby out there as well, didn't she?
Yeah, she had another kid out there, so they were there for that long. They got busy, but but he said the thing was, it's like it was great for him in a way because it was all new and exciting, and he'd never been there before. And it was all these new places and stuff. And once he got used to it, he said, but the problem was, of course, there was like 1 billion people. And it was like there was nowhere for him to just get any respite from all the people and family and noise and stuff. And he said, there's nowhere quiet. You can't go to India and find somewhere quiet. So he said, it was quite of a challenge. He did quite often get quite stressed out because there was lots of things happening and people everywhere and lots of activities. And he was like, it was all right. He said, I'm glad to get home though, where he can just run around in the garden and be chilled out. Rather amusingly, I went in the garden yesterday and found like 1,000 small coloured plastic balls. I need to text my neighbour and just say, I seem to have gained like 1 million plastic balls. Are they yours? Shall I throw them back over?
Yeah.
Bless him. I just walking around the pond, I'm like, there's like little plastic coloured balls. Either we've got a really obsessive fox who's collecting them. We went through a phase about 10 years ago, where for some reason we go in the garden and we keep finding like trainers and sneakers. but just one.
Oh, right, yeah.
Just one. Mama Fox said apparently she one day figured it out because she saw the fox in the garden during the day, and it kind of wandered in with this like training shoe in its mouth and dumped it in the garden and wandered off again.
No.
So it seemed to have this thing for like sneakers and training shoes that it would play with them and then dump them in our garden. Bless it.
No.
So, yes. Yeah, he's a good kid next door. It's very common for children who are autistic. My son who's autistic is as sharp as a tack, but loud noises can set him off completely, says Andy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've learnt so many things just by, speaking to my neighbour and stuff. They're really nice. It's a really nice family. God, there's lots of paint on my finger.
That helps, doesn't it? Like I say, he's in a good environment, bless him.
Oh, God, yeah. And his little brother now is about 6 or 7 months old. He's not that loud of a striky kid. He doesn't seem to cry very often. You hear him yiking every now and then, but not very often at all. So his brother's not making a lot of noise.
Oh, bless him.
I think he was saying he's fascinated by his little brother.
Yeah, it's a shame. You don't like seeing them suffer, do you?
No, but I suppose at the end of the day, as the person suffering with it, he's probably more than happy because he doesn't know anything else, does he?
Yeah, I mean, my eldest lad's on the spectrum. With him, it's mainly social skills and loud noises.
Yeah.
He's very introvert, very sort of, he's got his regimented routine, and if that changes, it can throw him off a bit. But again, throw on top of that being a classic academic as well.
Oh, yeah.
So, but he's fine, in himself. It's just, you can see that social skills there,
That's the thing.
I mean, he's working, and they get him.
It's like we see it from the outside, so we can see what he's missing out on, or where any deficiency not deficiency, but you know what I mean. When his shortfall might be. Whereas he's like, I'm happy, I'm doing what I'm doing.
That's all he knows. And he's perfectly lucid and all of that lot. It's not that bad, but it is that social interaction. It's out of his comfort zone, and you can see him almost trying to disappear into the scenery. It's quite sad, really, because he is a really funny chap when he gets going, but it's just how it is.
Is it him that was doing on the photographs on your Facebook, been planking all over the house? Is that him?
Oh, no, that's Cal.
That's Cal.
Yeah, that's my youngest son, that is, yeah.
I mean, a few people I know have actually said to me, they say, have you ever been tested? Because they think, somebody actually said to me, I was like, are you actually autistic? I'm like, I don't know, probably not.
You're probably on the spectrum, yeah.
Yeah. Because, I can be quite antisocial. Not antisocial, but I don't like being around people. And
yeah, it's just out of his comfort zone, it's... Like I say, it's not massively apparent. It's just there. He's on that spectrum. It's been picked up, but not severe. Don't get me wrong, but it is there, and he knows it. He says, I know what I'm like. I know the reasons behind it. I just cannot change. And where our philosophy is, no one's asking you to.
No, he's like you say.
You do what you're comfortable doing.
He's
mate.
happy in himself, and there's no requirement for him to adapt to everybody else's way of life.
No, he admits that at times it makes him feel quite lonely. But he's inwardly happy with where he is and his place, and but as a parent, Andy McLeish will relate to this. As a parent, you wish there was something you could do more to help them, but there isn't.
Yeah, and like you say, you're looking at it from the outside, seeing what's not there, but he's like, mostly.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm in a way, I very rarely feel lonely because I'm absolutely, totally happy just in my own company all the time. I never feel lonely. So. And
no, you're set in your ways now, mate. It's, you wouldn't say you're an unhappy person, it's you're content with your life, you're content with your day-to-day thing, and fair play to you.
Yeah, I mean, I will say that the internet itself has been absolute godsend for me, because I've never been happy in like social situations, like people going to people's parties, and you going to the pub is one thing with your mates, that was fine, but going to parties and anywhere it's social, anything like that, and it's like, oh, I don't know people. Never liked it at all. But the internet, I can hang out with people as much as I want, and because I'm here in my own little cocoon.
Well, although we're on a webcam, you're still within your own safety bubble, and that's what I've found.
I'm in my happy place.
Yeah, you know, I'm, as you know, sort of housebound apart from medical stuff. But yeah, this is your window to the world, but it's such a controlled environment that it's almost like you're safe.
Yeah, I don't have to worry about other people seeing things or.
Yeah, exactly. I used to be quite an outgoing fella, whereas now if I walk outside the house, I feel quite vulnerable and can't wait to get back in here. It's really weird.
I'm one of those people that if I'm given a choice between a phone call and a text message, I will always send a text message.
Yeah, even
if it's my best friend in the world, they might phone me in a missed call. I'll text them back and say, "Hey, what's up?" I'll never.
Yeah. I'm that person on a phone call where someone goes, "You all right?" And I go, "Yeah." Awkward long silence.
Yeah.
What you been up to? Nothing. Whereas in a text, I'll just go, "Yeah, blah 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 blah," because it's done, it's short, it's sweet, and you haven't had to interact, have you?
Yeah, it's
not physically anyway.
I never used to be like that. I mean, obviously, in the days before, like sending text messages on mobile phones, it was like we'd talk on the phone. But as soon as I got the option of being able to send a text message in the mid 1990s, I'm like, wait, I can now just do a text message. I don't have to sit there and talk to people and do small talk.
You don't have to put any work into it, do you? Because it's like,
But I can also think about what I'm about to say, and I can make sure I say the right thing, rather than open me gob and say something and think, oh no, I didn't. Oh, I've said the wrong thing now.
We are what they would class as socially awkward.
Yeah, I'm a socially awkward penguin. I've called myself that before.
Yeah, and I don't mind that. No. You know, I don't have a very high tolerance for people when I don't. If someone's been an out and out cock or disrespectful to women or sexist I'm not going to stand there and let that happen, especially when I look at the woman and I see they're uncomfortable. I owe it to them and myself to go, wait, mate, don't be a knob, you know. And then, of course, that always ends up getting me in a confrontational mode, and that's when H then sort of says, dude, you might want to relax a bit. But
yeah, I mean, it's the same goes for
but
any
they've been
kind
disrespectful,
any kind of abuse, not just to women, but anything like that, you know.
It's just like when they've been disrespectful, but you don't have to be the one who has to police it. I go, but it goes against my moral compass. No one else is going to say anything, are they? They're all stood there with a, cat in headlights look.
Just very quickly while I remember, I'm doing the outside of the hatch.
Oh, I haven't even glued mine on, mate.
I'm doing the rim of the inside of the hatch, but we'll paint the hatch interior a different colour. So, but get a bit on going on the actual rim of it.
Oh, let's have a look.
It's yours. I might as well glue it on the tank. Yeah.
That was what I meant to have done during the week. Glued that to a base, but I might have forgot.
Well, on the hatch itself, all I've done is I've just focused the highlight towards the centre of the hatch, which is fairly obvious.
Yeah.
There.
And what about guns?
Guns aren't going to be German. Oh, actually, that's a good point. The sponson weapons.
Yeah.
For these, just on the melters, do the same on the case. You can't really be that careful on it because they're dead small. Right. So just do a circle of dry brush and get the highlights on there. On the big plasma weapon, I don't know what's going to be grey, so just do the whole thing for now. It's more of a flicky dry brush on this one though, because there's not really any flat surfaces.
Yeah.
Just avoid the coils, the coily bits, because they don't want too much paint on there, so avoid them.
Yeah.
And I think the tip's like a bronze colour, so it's just that bit there, really. So guns take about 10 seconds. There's not what you can do on them.
Guns. It's a gun, isn't it?
Yeah. But if you've got any like heavy stubbers and stuff, they don't have any grey stuff on them at all. That's where you're going to do your that bluey metal type effect that we did.
Yeah.
But on these melters on the side, you've got the casing around the weapon. That'll be grey, so well.
Yeah.
We just get a highlight on there, but it's more of a standard dry brush on there. Yeah, the one thing that was anathema to me all my life, and I used to hate it with a vengeance, was when somebody say, "Oh, I'm going to this party, do you want to come?" And I'd be like, "Oh."
Yeah.
And then you're at somebody's house, you know absolutely nobody apart from the mate you've gone with.
Yeah.
Maybe one or two other people. And you're in somebody's house, you don't know anybody, you're not comfortable, and you're sitting there going, "Oh."
I know where I would always be. I'd always be right in the corner out the way.
Yeah. Because nobody knows you, so they're not going to strike up a conversation with you. You don't want to start a conversation with people you don't know. And it's like, and invariably the person I go with wanders off to talk to other people and leaves me alone. I'm like, oh Christ!
Yeah,
it's always the way.
Really?
You just get abandoned. It's like, yeah, don't invite me again because I hate it.
Yeah.
For someone who does YouTube videos, it's weird to not like to be in the spotlight, but.
Yeah, but again, that's because that's us in control of how we filmed it, how we voiced over it, and yeah.
I think for me, it's more like I just do a thing here in my safe zone and then send it off somewhere. I'm not actually involved in people seeing it, so.
Yeah, exactly. It's forgotten about as soon as it's uploaded.
Yeah. Right, I think I'm just about done.
And that's all I do with it. It's like, yeah, been there, done that.
Been there, done that, bought the t-shirt, thank you very much. Bye,
Dave's in, saying hello. Hello, Dave. How you doing, mate?
Right, I shall clean my Mechanicus pot, I shall clean that brush, and then I'll let you catch up, and then we'll do the next bit. We'll have a look at chat and stuff for a minute.
How's Mum doing for sleeping time, mister?
Oh yes, I better go and give her a shout.
So you can do that whilst I'm finishing dry brushing if you want, mate.
decided to go for a snooze just before, like at 4 o'clock, which means if I leave her to it, she'll be sleeping for like 4 hours, which is not good.
Yeah, so
go and give her a knock.
Go and grab Mum.
Back in a minute, kids.
Blame me.
No, I blame myself. What was it for? past? Yeah, there we go. Back in a minute.
Yeah, no worries, mate. Yeah, she's had her 2 hours. Yeah, bless her. She's crafty because now, see, she knows. As soon as Foxx starts the Sunday stream, she nips off to bed. She's proper crafty, bless her. But, yeah. How was Mum, Dave? Was she all right? Or is she still not happy about her plants? Bless her. Yeah, I don't rate next door rabbits rates of survival at this rate, Dave. There you go, let's have a bit of that on the casing. Move that out of the way because it's getting in the way. Last bit on there. Just to grey that up a bit. And I think we're going to have the same to do with Dawnstone, or a bit of light dry brushing with the Dawnstone, so. There you go. So we've got a bit of gunnage going on that one. We can always come back at that if need be with a bit more colour. See what happens with that. On there, did I do the inside? I did. And that should then leave me with this one. I think he was saying just the sides on this. I could be wrong. We'll see. Not any on the coils, that was it. Mum's okay. Rabbit got on high pressure washing. Good man. Good man. Yeah, we've got... we don't own cats, but for some reason every cat in the neighbourhood seems to want to come and do its business in our garden. So my missus over the years has become an absolute sniper with a Nerf gun. And she manages to fire a blast of water right up in the cat's bullet hole every time she sees one. And gradually they're realising, yeah, it's probably not a good place for us to go in that garden. So, they're learning. Because it does get a little bit annoying that you don't own a pet and yet you're forever picking up other people's bloody cat scrap. Yeah, it's just... Yeah. mean, I always thought they buried it myself, but no, they just sit there and they're staring at you. They just do their business, and it's like, yeah, thanks for that, mate. H is pretty much, on the warpath with it.
Right, back.
Yeah, what reaction did you get?
Oh, she turned over.
Oh, really?
I made her a cup of tea. I'll probably have to go back in about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Bless her. Let's have a quick look at chat while you're doing your painting.
Yeah, no worries, mate.
We missed a lot of stuff. Don't forget, folks, of course, if you are watching this and you're not in chat, do click on the YouTube icon in the bottom right-hand corner. And you can come and join us in the live chat, and where we'll try our best to read the comments, but of course we're busy painting today, so might not get that much comment reading done. You.
Yeah.
Clean that brush while I'm reading.
Panzer says, who said it was a cat? Because you can see it, mate.
What's that?
You know.
What?
Panzer, when I said about the cats crapping in our garden, he says, who said it was a cat? Well, when you're actually looking at the window staring at a cat, yeah, it's pretty obvious it's the cat, mate.
Yeah. Bench says, Felice, there's an HG Goof custom.
Yeah.
No Zaku, boy, no Zaku. And Belly is leftover meaty pizza. Ooh.
Yeah.
Bobbins has got a bench, 172nd Delta Dart Interceptor. Belly will be grilled salmon fillet with pasta and pesto sauce.
Exactly.
Muse has got coffee, no food yet. Richetta is getting a parts upgrade.
Oh, nice.
Panzer says, Belly a single bacon roll. Muse pinched the other one.
Oh.
Bench, nothing, it's tidy. Beverage of preference is coffee.
Poor Muse.
Richard Thomas Scale Model World. Bench, taking a break from 67 Shelby. You've got Revell Volkswagen Mark 1 Golf on the bench.
Oh, nice one.
Belly, cheese and onion Pringles. Drink orange squash. Paul Lewis, Belly, don't know yet, but it'll probably be something with chips. Bench, just finishing a 124th Aston Martin DB11. Next, it will be something plasticky beverage, Coca-Cola.
Oh, nice.
I'll go through these quite quickly. Raging Modeler, welcome, buddy. He's in.
Hello, Adam. How you doing?
Belly, crisps and cheese on toast. Bench is a predator. I'm orking up.
Oh, nice.
McLeish says, when they go, I think you'll find I'm reaching for a war axe with the statement of, go on, finish that sentence. I dare you.
Yeah.
Do. I've forgotten about this little yellow fellow, says Jeff, when I brought my little angry marine out. Philly says, I got my mum one of those trail cameras for the garden, caught a fox playing with all the dog's squeaky toys.
Yeah, that's one thing we've noticed, the increase in foxes round here.
Yeah. Andy McLeish says about his son, he says, how sharp. I walked past him at daft o'clock in the morning one day and found him coding JavaScript from scratch. It was a proud dad moment.
Oh, bless him.
Muse says, having a good takeaway right across the road makes life easier. Mine's around the corner.
Yeah.
And he says the only experience of JavaScript before was Andy mentioning it as a programming language. Same for me, Fox. In my mid-20s, I quit booze, and with that came a complete lack of interest in any social situation. Says Philly. Muse says, nice fat burrito. Is there any other kind of burrito?
Exactly.
Panzer Cat says, Muse, just ignore the paw exploring the fence your food is on. And then he puts a little smiling, winking cat. Muse says, just remember, I'm fast with a knife. Yeah, he said Dave's in, isn't he? Hello, Colin. Hello, Princess. Hello, Dave. Hello, Dave.
Yeah. Ah, Dave.
Dave says, Mum's okay. Rabbit got a high-pressure washing.
Good man.
Poor bunny, says Muse. Sarah Jane says, Andy, I'm autistic, so I can relate. And also, she's got noms coming soon and getting ready for motorsport.
Oh, good girl.
I knocked the camera, didn't I? Feel coming after in motorsport. Right. Are we ready?
Yeah, I'm watching. I'm stood up at the moment, but we're watching.
Do you want to take a little break for something, or are you good to go?
You can go full screen if you want, mate.
Okay.
So well, I'm just stood up at the moment, mate. In case you wondered why I was distant from the microphone.
No, it's fine. I guessed you were, because I could tell, because your hands are like that on the bench, like that. Right. Next step is going to be exactly the same as the thing we've just done, but it's going to be using Dawnstone.
Bit of Dawnstone.
Dawnstone. Stone from dawn. but not like Dawn Yellow, which is spelled differently. Let me just clean some of the paint off this Mechanica Standard grey pot. It's a bit minging. I need to clean. The only thing with dry brushing is you end up with hands covered in paint.
Yeah, was that scuzziness, was it?
Yeah, but you have to be careful when you're using Citadel paint pots to dry brush, because you get paint around the back of the pot, then the paint gets on your hand, and then you grab the model and you put a big dot of paint on it. So do be careful of that. Yeah,
I was putting a slob of it in my wet palette earlier and just going from my wet palette to the tissue that way, but
yeah. Right,
that way I didn't leave the lid open, but yeah.
Gentlemen, do not leave your lids open around the ladies. Right, so it's going to be exactly the same process. I'll put myself on the screen. I shall zoom in. Do I need to zoom in a bit? I'll zoom in a bit. Okay, but maybe not that much. For some reason, my zoom's been quite good today and not looking like ass.
I know, it's proper clear, isn't it?
I know, something not right there. Right, so we're going to do the same again. I've got myself another dry brush, base brush. Dawnstone, I need some tissue. Now this one will be a lot quicker because this is a real dilute to taste. You can see now we've got... Now keep in mind, this looks a lot darker than it is in real life, but you've now got this nice bluey
contrast.
Grey. Yeah, it's gone from being a black, coal black thing to a sort of bluey grey look to it. And it's got all grime and dirt around the edge. It's not realistic, but it's just more interesting than just having a grey tank. You know, the one thing you don't want to do is paint it a base colour, stick a wash on and leave it, because that's just... It's not. It's half a job. So, it's got some texture to it. Oh, hang on. I'll be back in one moment. I heard movement.
Yeah, no worries, mate. Yeah. Marcy was saying outside, she says, cats just leave it and walk away. They certainly do. They certainly do. But yeah, Jacqueline says belly was lamb shank, no potatoes and vegetables. Work in progress is Yoda number 2, and she's only got 2 more to do. Philly says that's a crisp zoom. It is, mate. It is. It's the beauty of these 922 webcams. They do give you a nice bit of zoomage, mate. What else is going on in the chat? Everyone's saying hello to Dave. He says his mum's all right. Panzer says, better ask Andy. Better question is, do they have Muse's card details?
I'm back.
He's back. There you go.
Yeah. There was movement. I heard a little noise. It was like the falling out of bed noise, but it wasn't. It was just stumbling out of bed.
Was it that sombre? Really rotten you are.
Yeah. So I'm going to pop down in a minute once she gets downstairs and settled. I'll just make sure she's all right. Right. So where was I? Yes. I'll show you this bit quickly. So got the Dawnstone.
Yeah.
We have same process. Get our Dawnstone. Just a tiny amount on the brush, not a lot. Don't need much. Now the trick here is going to be picking out highlights. And that really is the minimalist kind of highlight you can imagine. So it really is, do it on the back of your hand just to get excess off. And then it really is right in the middle. This is more focused in the middle. And it really is doing almost nothing. There's almost nothing coming off there.
Yeah.
Very subtle. And it will have a bit more of a texture to it.
Yeah.
Now this is an optional step. You don't have to do this. But if you do a test panel, if you think you can pull it off, try a little test panel. Because that's it. Yeah. That's all I'm going to do on that panel. It's almost invisible. I'm literally touching the tips of the bristles to the model. It's a lot less paint than we've just done on the last step.
Yeah, yeah.
It really is absolute minimal. So make sure you want almost nothing at all on the paint now. And it's literally just...
right in the... yeah.
Yeah, and you can take it out to the outside if you want, but try and focus more of it in the middle. And it's just to give a little extra contrast. A little tiny bit extra. And if it is barely perceptible, and if you want to, you can also flick this across the edges of things, because then you can start doing a little edge highlight as well, just to bring the edges out a bit. But that's about as far as I'll go with it. It's almost nothing. If you compare it to the palette.
But it just gives you that transition, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just a little extra between the light and the dark.
Yeah, it's like a fade.
Yeah. Right, so I'm just going to go and sort my Foxx out downstairs for 2 minutes.
Oh, yeah, no worries, mate. You do what you got to do, mate.
Back in 2 minutes. You crack on. Remember, gentle and slow, that's the trick.
I certainly shall be, dear.
Like making love to a beautiful woman.
Yeah.
Stand back and a bite, anyway. Back in a minute.
Swiss Tony, yes. Yes, you want to caress it like you would a beautiful woman. All right, let's find my spare panel of goodness. Let's unscrew that. Yeah, Mama Fox will be doing the walking away music now. It's so cruel making me get up. Paul says this rocker mechanical box has a lot of small and intricate parts. We'll need to be very careful not to break anything. Yeah. Yeah. You know now, though, Paul, now that you've said that, yeah, something will break. Always the way, mate. Put a tiny bit in there. Just enough. Poor old dry brush is pretty much had that. Let's see whether that one's any better. Let's give that a bit of a go. There you go. Tiny little bit in the middle. There you go. Not too much, he says. Not too much. Just a tiny bit. There you go. You can do a tiny bit. Yeah, I haven't done one of them rocker kits for a while. I've got a couple. I will get round to doing them, doing a bit more on them. I think my boy got me the gun. I think I've got a gramophone somewhere to do, so...
I left myself on full screen, sorry about that.
Oh, sorry, mate. Yeah, I didn't realise.
Right, she's downstairs and settled now.
Goes to show you how often I look up at the screen, doesn't it? Yeah.
Right, so what we do? Oh yes, highlights. How you doing? How's
All
it coming
right,
on?
mate. Just a smidge is all that's
just
going
a tiny
in there.
touch. The gentleness is what means you can do it without leaving obvious streaks. You've got to do enough that your little lines of paint are all blending together and covering up.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
if you just do a little tiny bit, you'll just get those little lines of paint, which will be dead obvious. And in big flat panels, it's sometimes, just do it a little bit in some cases, patchiness.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Not too much, dear. Yeah.
I've got her all settled. It's like, right, do you want anything else? No, piss off. Okay.
Oh, really? Oh,
So
dear.
go on, she's like, go on, bugger off. No, more just saying, go off, carry on, go and do your stream, bugger off.
Yeah, so she's happy that you got her up then.
Well, she's like, I said to her, I knew you wouldn't get yourself, because I says to her, if you're going for a snooze this early, then I don't want to come down at 8 o'clock and find you still in the snooze. I want to see you down here.
Yeah.
But I'll get myself up. After a bit, she never does. So
Yeah.
I said to her, I see you. We were going downstairs, and I said, "What happened to I'll get myself up?" And she went, "I did get myself up."
Yeah.
said, no,
And then I
go
put
on.
myself back down again.
I said, "No, I had to come and wake you up." She went, "No, but I got myself out of bed." I said, "Yeah, that doesn't count, does it?"
Yeah. Got to give her 10 out of 10 for trying.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Dorkosaurus says time to go and make some sloppy joes. See you all in a
Ooh,
bit.
sloppy
No
joes.
worries, mate. Take care, buddy.
Thanks for coming in, buddy. Take care. Never had a sloppy Joe. I'm not entirely sure. Is it some kind of hot dog with lots of ground beef or something?
I think it is, yeah. But I'm only hazarding a guess.
Like chili, but without the chili.
Yeah.
The good thing with this little highlight coat is you can also be tactical with it. If you think there's somewhere that might be a bit more worn or faded, you can do more in some parts and less in others.
Yeah, less is more in some places. Isn't
Like
it?
you might think, okay, well this particular surface here, perhaps people walk across that, so maybe I'll do a bit of a more of a highlight. and it'll be a little bit of effect, because this is like bleaching now. This is like a bleaching effect, sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah, things go pale. The way to imagine it is, imagine an old red Ford Escort.
Yeah.
It's been sat out in the sun for all the years. You've got
the sun bleaching.
Yeah, like some panels will still be the bright red, the dark red that it was originally. Some panels will be like a lighter red, like the medium colour, and some will be like a very light pink.
Yeah.
It's really bleached, and that's what we're doing really, is the pink bit almost.
Hi, Wendy. Wendy Hickson's
Hi,
in,
Wendy.
saying hello.
Hello, Wendy. Hello.
Hello, Wendy. You all right, my love?
And you can catch edges with this one. You want to try and catch your edges with this one. It just makes the edges pop a little bit, but it's not like a edge highlight which just looks artificial. If you can kind of catch rivets as well, that also does some good.
Yeah. Just brings them all into play, doesn't it?
Flick it over. I mean, we're doing other stuff on top of this, but... How you doing, Wendy? Big hugs to you. It is quite tricky to do this on flat places, because you do end up with it looking like you've done little brush marks. So you've got to kind of go carefully with this one. This is better suited to small panels than flat areas, but
yeah,
that's what the circular motions are there
this
for.
Is it. We're not going for full coverage on this. We're just
popping
embellishing bits we've already done. Oh, embellishing! I
like that word. Get you with your big French words.
I know. You would have thought it, eh?
I know. You going all French. But it's easy with this layer to end up just doing a traditional dry brush where you're catching the edges, so you're really just trying to get it between rivets and on flat bits. But it is easy to get lots of brushy marks, but they'll go away when we do like washes and things later on, and stains and things. So what we'll do, we'll get this bit done. Then we should do our grand prize draw.
Yeah, because
we've been going for 2 hours already. So
we haven't.
We have. It's coming up to 7 o'clock.
Bloody hell!
I know, it goes fast, doesn't it? That's when you said, "Is it time to go and wake Mama Fox up?" I'm like, "Is it? Bloody hell! It's been 2 hours already."
Of course, yeah.
I thought it was like 5:30 or something.
Damn!
I thought we've been going for like 20 minutes.
That's gone quick.
Dude, I just realised I never did the Mechanica standard grey dry brush on my las rifle that's on the side of the tank.
Oh, bless you.
Oh well. Not to worry. I'm still zoomed in, aren't I think? Oh yeah. Unzoom. There we go. I had this big worry when I was trying to get Mama Fox out that I'd been away from the thing for like 10 minutes and my stream would fall over and I'd be like, you'd end up with a white screen, and I'd be like, no. Because that would be a pain in the bum.
At risk of touching wood, yeah. Whatever you've done today has worked, hasn't it?
Well, you say that now, it's going to fall over, isn't it?
No, I didn't say why it's worked, but yeah.
Don't matter. We both raised the subject and it's going to tempt the fate now.
Yeah. But yeah, it was weird that, wasn't it? You went from having a really good couple of streams to falling out every 2 minutes.
Yeah. Well, no, when I used to use Chrome in the old days, when I was doing streaming, I used to have all my extensions turned off, because especially things like that stop auto HTML5 autoplay would mean it wouldn't pick up the webcam, so I turned all my extensions off.
Yeah.
So I did that on Friday. But I was like, hang on, do I normally turn these off or not? I can't remember. I'll turn them off. Because I'm using Edge now for streaming, so...
Yeah.
And that's when it all went wrong, so I don't know if it was anything to do with that, but I've got them all turned on now to see what happens.
I've not used Chrome for ages for streaming. I use Opera now.
Yeah. Well, I use Chrome as my normal browser.
I've not had an issue. Yeah, I've not had an issue since I've been streaming on Opera, so... It's
Opera just makes me think of like the late 1990s.
Yeah, but it's no frills, mate. That's what I like about it. You know what like Chrome is like with its extensions and resource hogging.
Yeah, although to be fair, I mean, I'm very glad that a lot of the extensions I use in Chrome I can use in Edge as well, because to be fair, surfing the internet today without any kind of ad block is just I can't. I'm not even interested.
Yeah, you can't do it. Yeah.
No, I mean when it was too hot in the summer, and it was too hot to put my computer on, I'd have to spend all day surfing the internet on my iPad.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, well, what's wrong with that? And it's like, okay, you go to Kotaku or IO9 or CNN's website or the BBC, any of the other websites I go to without an ad block. It's just not, it's horrible.
Yeah, you just can't do it.
Like, you go to any of the Gawker websites like Kotaku or IO9 or anything like that, they're just, it's horrible. Things like Eurogamer, ugh.
Yeah, it's like, really? Yeah.
And even YouTube is bad enough. It's like, oh god, oh. Yeah. So once you've got like an ad block, you're like, oh. And it's other things like the Stop HTML5 autoplay. Like going onto any website where you go on the page and all the videos just start playing, and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
It drives you nuts.
Yeah, it's like, really?
Couldn't survive with that. And even on YouTube, it's like Stop HTML5 autoplay just stops all the autoplay videos. CNN used to be bad for that. You go on there and like, if there's a video on the page, it just autoplays it, and then that little video player follows you around the page. It's like, just turn it off.
Yeah.
Because it wouldn't be so bad, but their videos are really loud. CNN's videos are really loud. You have to turn it down before you even press play. Oh, it's frustrating.
Oh yeah, autoplay's totally disabled. It's like, not having none of that.
If you have an ad block and you press play on their videos, they don't work.
Yeah.
You have to turn ad block off so you can actually watch the video. It's like,
Please turn off your ad block so that we can spam the shite out of you. Yeah, see you later, website. Bye.
Well, they do seem to have changed it a bit now, that their videos don't seem to autoplay quite as much, which is nice.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, I don't get this problem on the Reuters website, or the Associated Press website. Come on now.
Yeah.
I thought I was doing really well, but I've still got both sides to do yet. Awesome. So we'll get this bit done, and like I say, for everyone watching, we'll then do the grand draw. So remember, folks, if you haven't already done so, you need to go to last week's video, which is episode 200.
Yes.
And put a comment on the video, and you can put whatever you want. It was supposed to be a comment that includes the word bottoms in a family-friendly way. But if you want, you can do a comment about anything. Just get a comment on last week's video.
Yeah, you got to be in it to win it, folks.
And there's no point doing multiple comments because that doesn't work. We filter those out. You just need one comment. You can do more if you want, but it won't give you any extra advantage.
Exactly.
You're just wasting your own time.
Only yourselves and your own time that you'll be wasting because it's going to get filtered out.
Yep. And Sarah Jane, if you don't want to win one of these, if you don't, because Sarah Jane's like, I don't make real model kits. It's like, okay, well, you could win it and sell it.
Yeah.
I don't care what you do with it.
You can win it and donate it to someone.
Yeah, you could win it and donate it to a charity. You could win it and give it to someone who might want to build it. You could win it and burn it at the altar of something. I don't know. You could paint it in martini racing colours. That'd be a good idea. La 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 la.
Exactly. You don't have to paint it as Warhammer. You could do it in McLaren Formula One colours, Ferrari. Although, imagine a Ferrari Leman Russ going around the track. Yeah.
My friend Nikki, bless her, were she still alive, she'd be throwing things at the screen now because she hates Ferrari. She was a McLaren fan.
Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, my wife is got an inane hatred for Lewis Hamilton. She cannot stand him.
No, Nikki didn't like her either. It was quite nice because she was kind of in with the McLaren people, and she did some art for them and stuff. And she knew Uncle Ron and things like that. So when it was a funeral, they actually sent. They said we never do this apart from drivers. But we're going to send you a McLaren flag that you can put on the coffin.
Yeah.
So they actually had this McLaren flag on her casket. It's like, that's amazing.
Yeah. Oh yes, been there quite a few times. The technology centre.
Yep. Got a few good photographs from when I went.
Yeah.
She had an exhibition of her artwork there because she'd sold a few paintings to them, a few pictures to them. And they got to know her over the years and became all fast friends. But so they had like a special event unveiling all her work. So she took me along with her, who knows nothing about motor racing. And she's like, the funniest thing is, because we're walking around and it wasn't just the normal, here's some pleb visitors. It was like, you're getting to see behind the scenes. Like,
you're getting to see all the doors with the ropes over it that people don't otherwise get to see.
Yeah, like walking up on the catwalk at the top and you can see down over all the frosted glass where the experimental stuff is.
Yeah.
And she says to me, the thing that gets me is, right, there's people that would kill to have the access you've got right now to all this behind the scenes stuff and to walk around the factory and all the secret places. There's people that would kill for that, and yet you're up here on this catwalk. You don't even know what you're looking at. I'm like, oh, so it's an axle. What?
You got absolutely no idea what it is. You're actually.
She was quite amused by it. She said, the funny thing is, you've got no idea what you're looking at. I'm like, yep. Means nothing to me. That she said, there's people that would sell their children for this kind of access.
Oh yeah. I know someone that works there at the technology centre, so yeah.
I have a very important announcement specifically for Sarah Jane about my channel.
Yeah, go on.
There will be a GT40 in my future.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
And it'll be one you haven't seen before. There you go.
Yeah. It's scoring freebies again, haven't you?
I'd say nothing until it's revealed.
Ironic, someone with no interest in motor racing. It's like...
I know.
Brilliant. But Fox said them letters and them numbers, Sarah Jane, not me. Just thought I'd say that.
I didn't say R2D2. What?
No, it's just them letters and numbers are banned.
Are they? I thought she liked racing and sporty race
She
cars.
does, but I might have a kit in my stash that Sarah Jane covets.
Oh.
So I refer to it as Sarah Jane's car.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see.
But it's rather large.
Oh. What about the car? Hey!
Boom, boom, boom.
That was just so obvious. Come on, you couldn't feed me that one and not.
He's here all week. Something for the
Try
dad.
the fish. Try the fish.
Yeah, it's all grown up for the dads.
Everybody boys. Whoa, Bayek.
Bayekers, like. That has made a huge difference in it.
It gives it it lightens up a little bit, even being subtle, and it just gives it a sort of dusty look. But the irony is, of course, most of this will vanish once we put weathering on it. But I've still got to do me turret and me under air. I don't think I'm going to do the underneath because that's going to be covered in dust. I don't need to do under there so much.
It's just brought it back, hasn't it? You know, because I can imagine when people first saw them both on screen today, they're like, oh, they're black. Yeah, but it's just brought it back enough.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just give it a bit of pizzazz.
But that's the trick. I mean, this is... It just ends up having that pre-shaded look, because that's all you do when you do a pre-shaded look. You put your pre-shade and then you apply the top coat over that lightly so you can have the shadow shine through.
Yeah.
We've just done it in reverse, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
We're applying heavy paint where we don't want the shadow to be, and less where we do want the shadow.
Yeah, there you go, folks. Don't know if you can see that.
I'll put your full screen out. I'll put your full screen. Wait.
There you go.
Give us a little wiggle round, guided tour.
Yeah, we got a bit of your subtle paintage going on there, folks. Look at that.
Yeah.
Obviously, for a first attempt, it's
Yeah. And do remember, of course, like I say, webcams are never quite that honest about colours, and they always look like darker and less awesome than they actually are. So
yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, I'm happy with it.
yeah, well, I've nearly finished my bit. Let me just do this. Do. That's the one downside with doing anything on a live stream is it never looks right on a webcam. It always looks less.
I mean, in front of me, I can see all the different shades, but yeah.
Webcams just simplify it all too much.
Yeah, they're biblical arse.
I mean, it comes in handy when you've got a shonky build and you've like done a terrible paint job and you're like, look at that, it's great.
You could just zoom out and go, yeah, look, there's my tank. Yeah.
Are you going to post some photographs? No.
No, I'm quite pleased with that, to be honest with you. It's, for me first attempt, it's...
I mean, you can put some pictures up in the group later on and everybody can see it, but...
No, because you'll all laugh at me then.
I won't laugh at you at all. It's your first time. I would never teach...
You'll all mock me.
I would never teach somebody and then mock them. Well, I'm keeping these bits down here dark. I'm not going to do it on these bits because they're going to be in shadow anyway, and I want to kind of keep that bit darker down there. But also, I'm completely lazy, let's just be honest. And I need to get this bit done. So we'll put that there. I've got to do the turret yet, and my guns. La 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 la. I'll let you play with chat for a bit if you're done, if you want.
Yeah, no worries, mate. I'm just taking a pic. No, I'm taking a couple of pictures to send you, and then I should be having a stand.
Ooh, make your stand here.
Because I'm good. You know, I did say to teacher that I will send you pictures as we go.
And the good thing with this final highlight as well, the other way to think of it, not only does it double as having like a sort of... Don't do that. Are you alright?
Yeah, that's just me, sort of, yeah.
Not only does it double as like a sun bleach effect, especially if you're doing yellows, if you do something like this with Dawn Yellow is a great bleached yellow colour, it's just if you want that bleached effect.
Yeah.
Not only does it work as that, it also allows you to do a bit of zenithal type stuff, because if you do more of this on the horizontal surfaces, the face up, like if I did more of it highlight on this bit and less on that bit, you can also build up that highlight more to give you a lighter panel on the top and a darker panel on the side. I
like Paul D. Tomato's comment. He says, anyone that might win the Leman Russ and doesn't want it, you can always send it to me as a day late birthday gift. He's good, isn't he?
I see what he did there. It's quite good.
Did
we find out what Paul... Go on.
No, go on.
I was going to say, weren't we waiting to find out what Paul's special present from his daughter was?
Yeah, we were. Yeah, that's what I was about to say to him.
Oh, right. Yeah, did we find
yeah.
What was it?
Yeah, what was it, Paul? What was it? Tell us, we want to know. We need to know.
If it's like a pack of socks, just make some shit up.
Yeah, just turn around and say it was, I don't know, Perfect Grade Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, Battleship Yamato, Space Battleship Yamato or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so remember, you can use this as a zenithal layer as well to get highlight areas. Because you'll still have the basic grey underneath, but you're just building it up so there'll be more highlights on upwards facing surfaces and less highlights on the lower ones.
Oh, Panzer's been presumptuous and saying, if I were you, Sarah Jane, I would issue a fine. In other words, yeah, one, he's trying to drop someone in it, and two, he's trying to make Sarah Jane's decisions for her.
Wait, what? Who dropping who into what now? What?
Yeah, Panzer was trying to throw someone under the bus. Don't know who, but
I don't know who.
Probably you for mentioning Sarah Jane's car.
Well, I didn't know about that.
No, exactly. Innocent. So you was innocent and unaware.
I was doing my good deed for the day based on the idea that she likes racy motor cars. So you try... Ferengi Rule of Acquisition 298, no good deed ever goes unpunished.
Absolutely.
Learnt that in my many years of working with my ex-friend.
He says, the Rocker Starry Night mechanical music box. That's right, you mentioned it earlier that you was building the music box, didn't you? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Cool. Right, so I'm just fettling with the turret here. I'm going to do more of this highlight on the top of the searchlight, as you can see there.
Pardon me.
And I'm doing a bit more
flicky. That's the beauty
flippy.
of it is as this dries, if it's not giving you the highlights you want, I suppose you can always go back and just touch a tiny little bit more in one or two places. So,
but that's it. I mean, this simple technique is basically giving you post shading and a zenithal highlight, or a post shading and some sort of like almost like lighting effects, like shading as in light areas and dark areas because of where they are compared to the light source. So it's not just, you know, the first grey coat was the let's do the post shading effect. The second coat was the let's build the highlights up and make them look like there's actually a light source.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
I mean, there's probably one or two places where I'd go back at it and just add a little more just to bring it out a bit more. But at the moment,
Well, for example, what I like to do, what I'm going to do now, is I'm going to put a little bit more on this side of the turret.
Yeah.
Just a little bit more.
Is that your light source, that side?
No, this is the side the guy gets out of when he gets out through the turret.
Ah, right, yes, he's going to have more wear.
A little bit more, just a tiny amount. It's like the tiniest of amounts. On the actual cupola itself, it's just really a flicky dry brush because you can't do much on there. It's a little bit lighter on there. Just tiny, just nobody will even notice it really, but it's there. That's the turret done. I'll do it. I'm not going to do too much underneath because that's underneath. So we'll kind of leave that. Some of these smaller areas, it's just more of a flicky.
You're a flicky.
Yeah, drop my brush and everything. Oh, now it's going to have like carpet monster fluff in it and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Ah, well, pubes and things. I don't know. Cat hairs. All the things you normally find in carpet. Bits of biscuit.
Yeah. Bits of leftover McDonald's.
Yeah, it also doubles as or triples as a wear and tear coat because you can, like on little flat surfaces, you can make it look like the mid centre of like a bit there, where it just looks like it's a bit worn in the middle. So it's just
especially if it's a high traffic area, because like I say, it just looks like been
Whereas,
clambered over.
If you did this a traditional Games Workshop way, you're just doing this as an edge highlight, which doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
I mean, edge highlighting looks good. It's just not telling a story.
Sometimes it can come over it or look a bit cartoony though, can't it?
Yeah, it's not anything you'd... I mean, you do see edge highlights in real life, but that tends to be from wear and tear, so when it's a uniform, it's like, it's a nice style, it's just not my kind of... It's not the order of things for me. I'm going to put a bit more on the top of this turret. You can actually... Oh, no, it's black, isn't it? That's why. I was going to say you can kind of see the difference. If you look inside the inside my stowage bins at the back, that's untouched from the base coat and normal oil. So you can see just in the difference there, the inside there.
Yeah, it has made a huge difference in it.
Yeah. Right, we'll just get the guns done really quick and the turret hatch. Nearly done. So the turret hatch, I'm just going to do a little tiny bit in the middle.
Panzer was throwing you under the bus.
Oh, was he? Okay.
Yeah.
So I've done a little tiny bit there. And what I'll do now is I'll do a bit more on the inside of that hatch, because this bit we're going to paint in a different colour, but the rim
That's
of it
right,
there. And then on the edge here, that'll end up getting lots of metallics and stuff, but we'll do a load on the edge there. I only want a little bit on the inside. I'll zoom in and show you that so you can see it. Because this is a perfect example of the effect we're kind of going for. That's the kind of effect we're going for.
Yeah, can spot that, yeah.
So you've basically got three colours, with the darkest giving you a kind of grimy, unclean effect. And if you were to show that to someone, they'd think you'd airbrushed it.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it?
But that's what you can do with dry brushing. So if ever you mention dry brushing and somebody gives you that face, don't be put off.
Yeah.
Just kick them in the bollocks and walk away.
Yeah, it's like,
Yep.
It's like anything. Every technique has got its uses.
Yep. Every technique is valid for a different thing. It's like, is it going to look as good as airbrushing? Well, it won't look as smooth because it's been dry brushed. But it's a tabletop miniature you're going to see from 3 or 4 feet away, so...
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, you may not want a smooth finish.
As long as it survives that test, that your job is done.
Mm-hmm. And the thing about airbrushing is great, but everything looks airbrushed.
Yeah.
This at least gives you a bit of crunch to the paint job, so that when all the other weathering goes on top, you'd be hard pressed to know if it was dry brushed or airbrushed or just glazed. I'll see if it comes out on camera on this one, but if I zoom in again, like that there, it won't come out on camera, but on that, if you look at the housing here, you wouldn't know if that was airbrushed or brush painted or glazed or dry brushed. You probably wouldn't expect it to be dry brushed. If you ignore that bit, It's just this piece here. You wouldn't
just makes a difference, doesn't it?
Yeah. Once you realise that dry brushing isn't just loading a big fat flat brush with paint and going like that, you unlock a whole world of potential. Right, let me clean that brush off, and then we shall do the important stuff.
Do the important draw for last week's giveaway.
Yes, I shall show you what I've done. So I have full screen again. We did full screen of yours, didn't we? Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, we have now we've not done this bit here because that's going to be a different colour. That's going to be striped, so we don't have to paint that panel. But you now see, if you look at that front panel, that's what it looked like before we did all this dry brushing. This triangle panel here, that's what we were working with. And there's lots of other colours that go on here. This is just the base coat, don't forget. So you can see between that now and the rest of this track unit. Hopefully you get the idea. That's what we've come from to get to this.
Yeah.
And that's without the highlight. So you've got 3 different layers of stuff there.
Makes a difference, doesn't it?
Yeah. I've gone a bit lighter on the turret. Again, it doesn't look unrealistic. I mean, it doesn't look realistic, really. But you could look at that and think that someone had done a load of careful airbrushing.
Yeah.
Or pre-shading, at least. So it's the starting point. Yeah.
It's us two that we're talking about here. If we can get away with doing something, we will.
Yeah. There you go. That's what I've done. So don't be afraid of dry brushing is a lesson from today. Don't be put off when people slag it off. And don't think that it's a one-trick pony, because it's absolutely not.
Yeah. Take care, Sarah Jane. Sarah Jane's off to watch her motorsport.
Take care, Sarah Jane. See you soon, Spud. Wouldn't
it be ironic if Sarah Jane wins?
I know. What is this about a GT kit, says Wendy Hickson. There may be a Ford GT40 in my future.
Yeah.
Right, so what did you think then today? You're still fettling, aren't you? What are you doing? You're doing more highlights.
I am. You carry on, mate.
No, I'll put you full screen.
No, it's been mint, mate. I've enjoyed it, to be honest with you, mate.
We've still got lots to do.
Oh, absolutely. But no, it's just remembering the technique. You know, it's just like, yeah.
And like I said, the majority of it, the technique is fairly straightforward once you've told it.
Yeah.
Or once you know it. The trick going forward is finding the way you can do it best with your abilities.
Yes, that's
That's like 20% of it, because you'll pick that up fairly quickly. The 80% of it now is colours, because it'll work with some colour combinations and it won't work with others.
Yeah.
It's learning to look at different colours and say, well, this one is too dark and that one's too bright. The contrast is too high and it's going to look terrible.
Yeah,
I'd have to do an intermediate colour, and that's an extra layer of paint then. So you'll slowly get practice with different colours, and you'll be like, you know what? These 2 colours, like this one, like German, Skaven Black Dinge, and then Mechanicus, and then Dawnstone. It's great for that kind of.
Yeah, it works a treat because you end up with light to dark to light. Yeah.
But if I tried the dry brushing starting with Skaven Black Dinge again, like the base colour, like I did with Avalon Sunset on that figure, it wouldn't have worked because Skaven Black Dinge isn't different enough from the base colour.
It's almost the same problem you had with your highlights, wasn't it, the other week?
Yeah.
Where it was just too much, wasn't it?
Yeah. And we'll post some decent photographs in both the groups for these, so you can see the effects we've gone for. Because it doesn't really show up on a webcam. Right, I need to get some stuff open, so let me get the thing open. I'll let you entertain the crowds for a moment.
Yeah, no worries. Don't forget, folks, you've got to be in this to win it. So if you haven't entered, do so now.
Enter your things now. Get to
your last chance to get an entry in. Anything in the comment from last week's, you could, bottoms, containing the word bottoms was the original thing, but now it's just any comment will do.
Yeah, it's not loading comments. So, that's interesting.
You've got to be in it to win it, peeps.
Oh, hang on, is this... Oh, that's today's stream, dingus. I'm loading up today's stream and why are there no comments? Oh, because that's today's.
Yeah, we've got black boxes on screen at the moment. Nothing's streaming out.
Yeah, it's because I'm in there. Is that better?
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, it's because I had...
I'll soon let you know. I'm just waiting for the delay on YouTube to kick in.
Yeah, it's Chrome. I had Chrome in the same window as...
yeah.
wonder if I can do it in Edge. If I open a new tab in Edge, will you see it?
I don't know.
Tell you what I'll do. Let me.
What screen are you capturing? There you go. We've got the picture back.
No, I need to do it in. I'll open it up in Chrome.
Yeah, we've got picture back on YouTube now. So
Yes, I need to have Chrome in a different window. So
yeah, this is where I'm lucky having the two screens because I can open it on the tab that's away from the screen. Yeah.
Tell you what, I don't need to worry about that, do I? Because they're going to see this anyway. So, right, we can do this from scratch. So, la 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 la. I don't think I've got the same links though. Let's hope we have. So let's go and find last week's video.
Bobbin says, I almost never win nothing. Well, there you go, Bobbins. Hopefully you've entered. You never know, mate. You could be in luck. It'll all go through the random comment picker anyway, so you all see that it's done fairly.
Thou hast to be in it to win it, as they say.
Exactly.
Right, so, what can you win? Well, what's happening, aren't we?
You can win a Leman Russ, exactly like what we're doing.
Yep, you can win the one that's in the title screen, which isn't popping up.
Yeah, it's been special, isn't it, mate?
Tell you what.
Andy McLeish says, I haven't won anything since last year. Check your chat, Fox. You've got a super chat from Jokeroo Jim. $2 Canadian. Good luck in the draw, everyone.
Thank you very much, Shakiro Jim. That's very, very kind of you. Thank you.
There you go, mate. So, if you haven't put a comment in, bung a comment in, mate.
Right, so this is what you're going to win.
Dun, 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 dun.
But that's just the one. This is the alternate version you can make from the same kit. That's the Punisher. Now, I have to point out, can I just point out on here, look at that dirty great gap there in the middle of the turret.
Yeah. It's not on, is it?
Not even bothered.
Not even bothered getting rid of that, have they?
Right, so the only requirements were, like I say, you put a comment on the video, but you have to be from a country that I can ship from Games Workshop's website to. So if you live in North Korea or Antarctica, you're out of luck. So if we pull your name and we can't ship to you, we'd have to do another winner. So
yeah. Easiest way to check, folks, is go onto the GW site and see whether your country of origin is in the drop down.
Right, so let's get the... Why is it showing... Okay, zoomed in a bit so you can't see it, but I'm going to pick the URL. Let me just... This is getting confusing now, isn't it? Hang on.
I know, it's all technical, mate, isn't it?
It's because StreamYard is zoomed in a bit. I'm going to copy the URL. La 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 la. Hang on. I've got a better idea.
Felice is saying good luck to everyone. Absolutely.
I'm fettling. Give me a minute.
No, you carry on, mate.
Da.
Everyone's saying good luck to everyone that's entered. Exactly our sentiments.
Share screen. Share window. Share the window.
Yeah.
There we go. Right, so I can put that back over there. Are you still seeing everything? You should be, shouldn't you?
Yes, yeah, can see everything, mate. Go.
Yeah. I figured it out now. Right, so.
Yeah, you're good, you are.
So we've got the URL from the YouTube video, which is not that one. That one. So we're going to load. We're going to filter duplicate users, and we're going to not block anybody. So let's do.
Yeah, it's just duplicate entries, isn't it?
Festa. What's 8 plus 4?
12, mate.
Is it 12?
Yeah.
Just check it. Right. We have 35 comments. A minute ago when I checked there were 25, so we've got 10 in the last.
There you go, folks. So 35 of you are in for a chance of winning this bad boy.
I'll give it one more moment to give them a few more minutes to put some comments in.
Yeah.
And like I say, I'm basically going to, if you win, you need to send me all your details. I will basically order it for you from Games Workshop, so you have to be in a country they can ship it to. I'm not shipping it to you.
Yes.
I'm not paying shipping. Right, so I'll do one more. We'll refresh it again. Oh, capture. Oh, I didn't do the capture, did I? 9 plus 1. Oh, is that 10?
Yeah, go for it. You know you can.
Yeah, we've got 35 again. Right, so are we ready?
Go for it, mate. Drum roll. Stand
by. Good luck, everyone. Edward Leonard.
Get in there.
That is a lovely looking bottom, says Edward Leonard.
There you go. Congratulations, yes. Edward Leonard.
Squishy King himself has won himself the Dodge Viper. No, not the Dodge Viper. What am I talking about? The whatever it is. Why did I say Dodge Viper?
The Leman Russ, mate.
Leman Russ. That's the one. Let me just get it. I've got rid of it now, haven't I? Never mind. You know what you're winning. So there you go.
So there you go.
Edward Leonard, well done. If you would please send me an email, I will put the email address in chat for you. It's not exactly hard.
Helgum35 at GeoCities.
Yeah, .com. It is Foxx at modelmakingguru.com. And I've not even spelt it right. Way!
Oh, you are useless.
It's because this keyboard's a Mac keyboard and all the things are in the wrong place. It wasn't the spelling, it was the thing. There you go. So that's my email address. Where are we? Musey says, go read my comment. I can't see your comment. You have to tell me what the comment was. Yes, well done, Edward. Send me an email. I want your name, your address, and your phone number. Full address and phone number, because I need to put that on the order. And then I will get that sent off to you. ASAP.
There you go.
Is Edward actually watching?
I think was he in earlier on? I don't know.
I don't know. I can't remember now. I bet he's not even seen it, has he?
Probably.
Well, if you're watching this backward, send me an email at fox@modelmakingguru.com. There used to be a contact form on the website, but it was just all spam, so I got rid of it. So there we go. Well done, Edward. I shall close that down.
Well done, mate.
Move. There we go. Lovely, lovely.
There you go.
I like giving things away. It's not something I can do very often.
Congratulations, mate. Yeah. Edward Leonard is in. He says, thanks, guys. Sorry for the lurking, but I have been painting.
Yeah. Well done, Edward. Drop me an email when you get a minute.
Yeah.
And congratulations. Right, what did Muse say in chat? She doesn't say where. It could have been hours ago.
It might have been the comment that was on last week's video.
It's close to clean either. Oh, I see what you mean. Oh. I've not got the window open now. Edward says, hi everyone, by the way.
Hi.
Go read my comment, Foxy. Let's go and have a look now, aren't we? Let's have a look.
You're going to have to, because the risk of pain of death.
Yeah.
And we would all mock you anyway for not doing it and saying, oh, you're in the doghouse.
Pause. Pause. I've got to go through all these comments now and find it. Let's have a look.
It'll be the one from Scale Model Muse, mate.
Yeah, it'll be the one right at the bottom.
Yeah.
Do.
Yeah, he had one job. One job.
Congrats on the landmark number. Well, since this is all about bottoms, what will the first gay transformer turn into? A Prius.
Bless.
Lots of comments about bottoms. Behind every great model it is, their bottom lol, says Sprue and Glue. And what was Edward's winning comment? Let's have a look. Oh, I read it, didn't I already?
Yeah.
Speaking of bottoms, I just had a scare at the doctor, says Philly. He's getting ready for a prostate exam. I asked where to put my trousers, and he said, over there next to mine. First of all, congrats to 200 episodes, says Stefan last. If I win this tank, it will be my first ever Warhammer kit. Will that mean I'll go down the Warhammer rabbit hole? What happens if you reach the bottom of said hole? Will my rather sizable bottom prevent me from ever fitting into that hole? I'll get to the bottom of this.
I wouldn't know, because I'm not that far down it, mate.
Yes. Bottom burps keep the earth rotating, says Ninja. Scale Model Ninja. Bottom, says Jukero Jim. Well, it meets the requirements.
Exactly, it's in there.
Right. So, what did one butt cheek say to the other butt cheek? Together we can stop this shit, says Mark Shellard. Anyway, there we go. Right, well
fair play.
Drop me an email, fox@modelmakingguru.com. Name, address, phone number, and we'll get that on the way to you. Congratulations. I do love
credit card, CVV number, so that we can go on Forge World and order loads and loads of stuff.
Yeah, I do need to buy lots of things on your behalf that will only ever be received by me for reasons. So if you can arrange that, would be great. Thanks. Also, I've got a bridge for sale if you're interested. Yes, so I do love doing little giveaways. So, I mean, sadly, as you all know, loads and loads of you in the past sent me lots of things to give away. I've got boxes in the spare room full of kits to give away and stuff. That I'm never going to build them. I'm not going to sell them. I'm going to keep them and then give them away. But unfortunately, it got to the point where I was spending all my income from Patreon shipping out prizes.
Yeah, that's what I did with stickers. You know,
it got ridiculous. So I will get back to doing giveaways for all those Gumpler kits and model kits and airplane kits and stuff that you sent me to give out. I will give them away. I just need to be in a position where I can afford to spend several £100s a month on sending things out.
Yeah.
It was costing me hundreds every month. It was ridiculous. But I love giving stuff away. So we will. But for those of you who have sent me stuff, I'm never going to sell them. I'm never going to build them. I'm going to give them away as I promised. And while I remember, I have a couple of kits in my stash that have been sent by people over the years. I will build them. A few things that people sent me. I've got a Sinanju to build, and I've got a few other kits as well that I was sent to build, and then I've never got around to it. So I will do eventually. Yeah, right, I think we're done.
Absolutely, mate. Good show, mate.
Yeah, we've got a load of dry brushing done. It kind of timed out really nicely. We'll take some photographs and we'll stick them in the Boom Hut and the Festa Workshop group so you can see.
Yeah.
Next week, don't know what we're doing next week. Probably a little detail painting, I think. Time to paint little
Next
fiddly
week,
shit.
we'll be mostly doing...
things. Next week, it'll be fiddly shit. Or we might even do, maybe we could, well, I mind you, I don't know. We've got fiddly things to paint, but we should really do chipping next week, I think.
Yeah, it's coming along all right,
really
mate.
fiddly shit.
Yeah, it's...
Or we might do it with this.
It's not looking as dark as it did last week, is it?
No, it's looking much more betterer. It's weird when I look at mine, the shading's quite subtle, but when I see it on the screen, it's like I've just painted black lines all over it. But it's not actually, it doesn't actually look like that in real life. It's much more subtle.
I see you've said it again, the words subtle.
I know. It's not a normal thing for us to talk about that.
Yeah, I kind of want to do Leman Russ noises for some reason.
The thing that gets me is this is the tiny tank of the games of the Warhammer world, yet these things are taller than your house.
Yeah, I know.
Like, this guy sitting in the turret, he'd be at the top of your house roof, looking down. If this drove past your bedroom window, you probably wouldn't even see the driver.
It's just such a fun little thing to build. I don't know why, it just is.
It's only tiny when it's next to, like, a Baneblade.
Yeah.
Which will be as big as your street.
Yeah.
Anyway, right, so that's going to do us. I think next week we'll do some sponge chipping, maybe. And some brush chipping.
I've got loads of sponges.
Well, we'll come up with something.
I am a sponge.
Yeah, we've got to do all that before we do any detail painting, because we're going to get the sponge going. We don't want to paint all the guns and things and then suddenly put a load of chips on them, because that will be ass.
Yeah.
So we need to do all these things now while we've got all the uniform overall single colour. But that's going to do us for today. Thank you everyone who's been watching. You've been lovely of you. Thank you for everyone who entered into that giveaway, and congratulations to Edward for winning it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Big thank you to you, buddy, for being my co-host as ever on show number 201.
Always my pleasure, mate. Always my pleasure, you know that.
We're on 55 streams now, you and I.
Yeah, I know. Scary, isn't it,
201, I know.
And they're still coming back, mate, so we must be doing something right.
I know, I've not had to take my trousers off or anything yet.
No.
Probably why they're coming back.
not whilst we're on air. You wait, as soon as we're off air, mate. Yeah, he'll be doing tiptoeing through the tulips. I know he will.
Tiptoe through. Oh, that's another Tiny Tim song. He did tiptoe through the tulips.
You see what I did there?
Through the tulips.
Earworm. Could have been worse. Could have been our friend Mo Molam.
It wasn't even her I was thinking of. It was somebody else. It was the other one.
Yeah.
It was the Tory one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Bulldog Tune and Wasp Face. I can't remember her name.
Widdicombe.
Oh, that's the one. Oh, Jesus, like.
Yeah,
right.
see, I thought I'd throw that in your head now, mate.
On that bombshell, given the context we were talking about earlier on. Where's the bottle of vodka?
That noise is bounding up your hallway coming to get you. Dun, 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 dun.
Don't pass me a glass for the vodka, just pass me another bottle of exactly the same size and put the vodka in that. That'll do me. Right, everyone, thank you very much all for watching. Thank you again massively to my patrons and channel members who've made all this possible. Big thank you to my patrons and members this month because A, they've just funded that prize.
Yes.
And they also helped me buy my new Elite Xbox controller yesterday, so I could carry on doing video game streams for you, because without their support I wouldn't have been able to afford that. So big thank you to all my patrons and members for making both those things possible. Edward, you're receiving a gift courtesy of fellow patrons and members, so big thank you to them. Everybody do a big group hug. There you go.
There you go, big huggage.
Yeah, don't forget, of course, sponsored by emodels.co.uk, your one-stop shop for all your model making needs. Link in the description below the video. Go and check it out.
And make something awesome.
Yep, don't forget, of course, to support Colin as well by becoming a Patreon member of his channel, Festa 67's Workshop. And either of those things, either of our channels will give you access to the live 24/7 Zoom Hangout. We won't be back. We won't be back tomorrow because it's week off tomorrow from eModels.
Also, don't forget, you might want to bear in mind the following week, Fox, on the Monday is Bank Holiday Monday, isn't it? Because it's the funeral of the Queen, mate. So we get 2 weeks off, don't we?
2 weeks off.
Yeah, so you might want to put something up on eModels for
Let's
that.
all get drunk and play ping pong.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool, awesome. But yes, anyway, I'll be back obviously on Friday with the Friday Frolic with Colin on his channel. And then next Saturday with Cyberpunk. I'll be back on Friday playing more Red Dead Redemption as well on Friday afternoon.
Yeah,
And then back on Saturday with Cyberpunk, and Sunday we're here with Warhammer Sunday again. What have you got on call this week?
Wednesday is Workbench Live on the eModels channel, me and Dave doing our trucks. Friday Frolic with yourself. And then it'll be Sunday at the bench with me and Dave, and then Warhammer Sunday again. There'll also be another early access Valentino Rossi video going up at some point this week, as well as hopefully part 1 of the Wendy Hickson build. Yeah, the H2 Carbon, folks. So, yeah.
I might, just remind you, but I might try and get a part work live stream done for patrons and channel members this week, because I've got 3 boxes of Iron Man to build. I've only got 2 boxes of the Dodge Charger, though. So I'll do an Iron Man build stream if I can this week. I've also got 5 boxes of the Star Wars Encyclopedia to film, so I've got to do that this week. But yeah, I'll see if I can schedule in this week a live stream for the Iron Man for my patrons and channel members.
There you go, folks.
Also, here's an interesting fact for you. I learned something today. I'll leave you with an interesting fact of knowledge. Did you know that on tank tracks, or any kind of tracked vehicle, both the rubber things in the middle, or on old worldy tanks, you know, they used to have the little sticky up strip on the old World War I tanks, those are both called grousers.
Oh, there you go.
They are things for giving more grip on uneven surfaces. So the little sticky up bits are the rubber.
Good factoid, mate.
Not growlers, that's something else. It's grousers.
No, growlers is something completely different, Fox.
It's kind of iceberg.
Yeah. I do love how you've labelled up your Mac keyboard.
Yeah, just in case I want the calculator, commanders. This is when I'm using the iPad, I think.
Yeah, I do love that.
And that's when I'm playing podcasts, and if I want to play and do volume up and down, because sometimes I just need to go because I can't be able to look at. Also on the back I've got Function and C to link it to the iPad.
Oh, bless.
Yeah, and here's the thing, right? You could buy one of these from Apple for like 150 quid, or you could buy this one for like 15 quid.
Yeah, I mean, I'm old enough to remember the keyboard cards. Do you remember that? Where you used to change the card on your keyboard to label up all the different function buttons and
You mean on the IBM Model M that has the little tray at the top where exactly like mine's got?
Yeah.
I used to love the fact on the IBM, on that Model M keyboard, it goes up at the top and there's a little ridge, and that's where you put your pen.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It was perfect for that.
But yes, I hate the fact this is this is a Mac keyboard with the @ is there and the quotation mark is there, which is completely wrong.
Yeah.
It's merits. So now when I'm typing on a real keyboard, I go the wrong way around. It's very confusing. Anyway, that's going to do it. Thank you everyone for watching. Take care of yourselves. I shall see you all very soon. In the meantime, I shall say, be good, stay safe, wear a mask, all that rubbish. Go make something awesome. Go be awesome. And until next time...
Adios, amigos.
Oh, you need to be faster with that, dude. Oh, for the joke to work. Oh!
I know.